I have watched every Billie Jean performance that I could find. And I mean from full performances to only performances that we have like a 3 second snippet of. I have watched everything I could find. I'm gonna put them into an iceberg from most known to least known, and then I'm gonna put them into a tier list while we go on. So let's get to it. Tier 1, which is most known and popular. Now, of course, here we have Motown 25. This performance is most likely a lot of people's first viewing of Billie Jean because it is one of the most iconic performances, as it is his first performance of Billie Jean. So obviously it's on the most known tier here. However, it's not that good compared to other performances, but it's not bad. It lays the foundation very well. However, it's clear it's his first time doing it with Billie Jean, of course. That sounds weird out of context. I'm gonna put it in C tier because it's good, but it could be better, and other performances will be better. Next up, we have the 30th Anniversary Pro Mix. Now, the Pro Mix has two performances, which is of September 7th and September 10th, 2001. So I'm not gonna put this mix into a tier list. I'm gonna put both of them into the tier list when I reach them down the list, but not now. But the Pro Mix is also most likely a lot of people's first viewing of Billie Jean because a lot of people gravitate towards newer performances, and considering this was in 2001, it is more new compared to, let's say, Motown, as I just covered, which was in 1983. So a lot of people gravitate towards this because, one, it's in 2001, and also it's in New York City, which is very well known, obviously. Honestly, this mix could have been better. I've actually made a video on this channel where I talk about why I think it could be better. So I'm gonna leave a link to that actually. Now we go on to the Wembley July 16th, 1988 performance. This is the one that was released officially by the estate, and you can watch it on YouTube if you want. This is probably the worst Wembley performance, probably, at least of 1988. Like, for some reason his vocals here sound pretty weird. There's probably like some documented reason. Maybe he's sick. I actually don't know. I just know I don't like how he sings here. The ad-libs are cool, but like some of the dancing is cool too, of course, but like I just feel like all the other Wembley shows seem to be better. And for that reason, I'm putting it in C tier. It's not bad, but there's just better. C tier is just in the middle. Think of C tier as the middle of everything. So it's not bad, but it could be better. Moving on to Bucharest, which is 90% of all people's first fucking viewing of Billie Jean. I cursed. I'm sorry. I need to stop cursing. This was on October 1st, 1992, and this is also a performance we have in Pro officially. A lot of people say this is the best performance of Billie Jean, which I highly disagree with. The vocals are not up to par with other performances. There's a lot of ad-libs though, which I guess a lot of people like, including me. I love ad-libs. I love myself some good ad-libs. But the main vocals just aren't that good. There's a lot of dancing, though there's a lot of energy as well. And it's in great quality because it is an official release. It's nice, it's good, but it could be better, so I'm putting it in C tier. Again, right in the fucking slap dab. I cursed again. Yokohama. I hate this performance. I absolutely hate this performance. The drums sound goofy, and the way Michael pronounces the vocals sound goofy. Like, the first thing he sings is, "She was more like a beauty queen from movie Sheen." Like, he sounds like he's from the South or something. It sounds weird. It's like Cowboy MJ. "How do you do, beauty queen?" It sounds weird, and I don't like it. And the camera angles suck too. There's some cool video editing, but it's kind of whack. Also, they misspelled Billie Jean with a Y instead of the I-E. E tier. It's E. I hate it. It's not bad, but it's just I don't like it. Okay, I don't like it. Moving on to some Victory Tour, Toronto, October 6th, 1984. When people go to watch Victory Tour, this is probably the performance they find first because it's the highest quality and most widely distributed, I would say. There are some better quality performances which we will get into down the line, but it's in great quality. and it's a good performance. But it's a great introduction to the Victory Tour overall. It's what introduced me to the Victory Tour. The bass sounds amazing. There's just something about the bass from that tour that just sounds really, really strong. But I'm putting it in C tier because, it's not bad at all. No, it's good. It's quite good. But there are other performances from the same tour that are better, in my opinion. Now we go to Munich on July 6th, 1997. This was my first viewing of Billie Jean because it's in great quality and it's just widely distributed. You can find it all over YouTube because of its quality, I guess. The sound mix is really, really good. His vocals aren't. His vocals are really bad. Probably the worst vocals of 1997. Like, without a doubt, this is the worst vocals of the tour. No, not tour, but 1997 tour. 1997 leg of the history tour. You get me. And the dancing is also good. There's like 3 toe stands, but there's not a toe stand after the moonwalk, which is, and it feels a bit lacking. And he's a bit slow, but there's still a lot of good dancing that I like. Even that's my favorite move, the 3-step or James Brown shuffle. Munich 1997 goes in C tier because it's not bad. A lot of people shit on it, which is fair, but it's not bad. It's definitely not bad. It's not one of the worst ones, not at all. In fact, it's quite good with a lot of its executions of the movement. The breakdown is short, but I like it, so it's in C tier. Moving on to the last one on this tier, we have This Is It, June 6, 2009. This is the one that is in the documentary. This performance is it's okay on some parts. It shows his creative genius when it comes to dancing and how he could just improvise on the fly and whatnot. And it also shows his evolved dancing from back then when he used to perform it. The last time he performed Billie Jean was in 2001 and this is in 2009, so there's a big gap between him performing it. This is a good performance on some areas, but like the main choreography of the song is like, he doesn't even do the proper moonwalk, and when he does it, it's like 3 slides and we see it from a horrible angle, so we can't really see how he does it really. And the main choreography is performed with not that much effort because he's rehearsing, but that still counts. All the main Billie Jean things are not that good here, so I'm bringing it down to E tier. That's just how that is. Now we move on to the second tier of the iceberg, which I have named Known. These are most likely not anyone's first viewing of Billie Jean. They could be, but I highly doubt they are. These performances are more so like, you find the ones I mentioned earlier interesting and you want to see more, then you watch these because they just pop up after you watch one of the other ones. So yeah. First off, we have Munich, June 27th, 1992. This is a really good performance and a lot of people say they really, really love the vocals, and so do I. I love the vocals of this performance. It's also cool because it's the first show of the Dangerous World Tour, so you can see some bad tour essence in his dancing and how he's performing the song here, which is cool. It is cool, yeah. However, I do prefer his later styles of the tour, but still the vocals are really good here compared to a lot of other shows on this tour, so I'm putting it at A tier. It is a really good performance, but it's not one of my favorites. So moving on, we go to Kuala Lumpur, October 29th, 1996. Now this is a really good performance. The live vocals here are really good. It's obviously mostly playbacked because it's on the history tour, but the live vocals here sound so good. Like, oh my god, they're definitely some of the best vocals of the history tour in 1996 from Billie Jean, of course. It used to be one of my favorites. It isn't now, however, it's not, but it's really good, so I'm putting it in A tier. It's super good. Moving on, we have Auckland, November 9th, 1996. This performance is, how can I say it? It's good, but it's also bad. Like, the vocals are good, but they also suck at the same time. Like, it's cool that he sings ad-libs, like the he's. He does a lot. He does some of those, and they sound good. But the rest of the vocals sound kind of really low in volume, and he's clearly suffering from laryngitis. There's a good amount of dancing, and the dancing is groovy. He dances in a very groovy manner here. That's the best way I can put it. However, I do not like his makeup. Like the way he looks, the makeup, that sounds horrible. I'm sorry, that sounds really rude. His makeup and hairstyle, I don't like it at this performance, and it could be better. So I'm putting it in C tier. Now moving on to the Munich HD widescreen 16:9 4K History 25 release, whatever the hell you want to call it. It's the 16:9 widescreen edit we have of Munich at least 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I don't remember. It's Munich, it's just Munich. However, it has clips of July 4th, which is the better Munich show, of course. It makes the performance, or this mix anyways, a lot more interesting, but I'm not going to rank this mix, but I will say I do enjoy this mix a lot, and it shows the potential if there was to be a HD history tour concert release of a mix. Like if they were to do it, I think it would look amazing. It would shed some new light on the history tour, because there's a lot of, like, let's say, bad tour fans and dangerous tour fans. Dangerous tour fans. No, dangerous tour fans that don't like history tour because there's too much lip singing, or because he doesn't have enough energy, which that's stupid. He does have a lot of energy on this tour. I don't know why people say he doesn't have a lot of energy. Like, you must only be watching Munich or some late history tour show. Watch some history tour 1996 shows like Manila. He has a lot of energy there. You ruined my day with these comments, man. Moving on to Buenos Aires, October 12th, 1993. This is a very well-known one. But again, I don't think it will be anyone's first viewing of the song. I highly doubt it. This performance is... It's good. It's the only 1993 performance we have in full pro. Which kind of brings me to tears, because I love 1993. This performance is good. There's a lot of dancing, but there's also... There's a lack of power in it, I would say. The moonwalk is pretty good though, but like it's not one of the best shows to the tour. It's absolutely not one of the best performances. But there's some really cool and unique ad-libs. Like, he does a lot of he-he's. And it sounds really, really good. So for that, I enjoyed it a lot, but it's not... It's C tier. It's C tier. It's C tier. Moving on to Bremen, August 8th, 1992. I hate you. I hate this performance so much. The ankles suck penis. It's so bad. And every time I watch it, I'm thinking, I could fix him. I could make this performance better with a new mix. No, I can't. I could make it better with color correction. No, I can't. It sucks. It fucking sucks. I hate this performance. And it's not just because of the camera angles. I just don't like it. The vocals are good, but like, he's sick here, I'm pretty sure. And it's kind of evident. Moving on to Cologne on July 11th, 1992. This used to be one of my favorite performances of Billie Jean. Now it is not. This performance is great. It has great vocals sometimes. Sometimes he sounds a bit weak, but other times he sounds really, really good. And the dancing is really cool too, though there could be more. So I'm putting it in B tier. Yeah. It's not the best, but it's better than normal. It's better than other performances for sure. Now moving on to Royal Brunei, July 16th, 1996. I used to love this performance, but then I used to hate it, and now I have accepted it. Now I think it's actually okay. A lot of people would say this is how he would sing Billie Jean live on the history tour, like fully live, and I kind of disagree. Actually, I disagree a lot, because the way he sings the song at this show is how he sings it on the Dangerous tour, except now it's at a slower tempo. It's like at the album tempo, a bit slower, I think, actually. And he pronounces the words, the lyrics, way too fast, so the song seems very empty throughout most of the song, which is unfortunate because there is good potential here, and there's also actually a lot of good dancing, but there's just poor camera work, or poor camera angles chosen, because I'm pretty sure it's an edited show, for sure, so like they have chosen angles after it was recorded, and came out with this mix of it, which could be way better. Whatever, I'm putting this in C tier because, it's interesting to hear him sing at a slower pace compared to the Dangerous Tour, which is way faster. I would go to Oslo on July 15th, 1992. This show is interesting because it's in daylight. It's interesting, but I prefer when it's just, at nighttime, when it's dark. It matches the Billie Jean vibe more. Like considering it's in daylight, it just feels like a rehearsal almost. Besides that, the dancing is good. The vocals are good, but that's just it. It's just good. I don't think there's more to it. It's just good. It's not bad. It's not amazing. I'm putting it in C tier. The MTV Video Music Awards. I recently covered this and I said my thoughts on it there. It's good. The dancing is amazing. It's playback. That's fine. But the dancing is amazing. But I feel like there could be a better variety. Variety. I can't say that word, but you know what I mean. In terms of movement he does, because he just does a lot of the what do you call the move, the heel tap, which is kind of, it's part of Billie Jean. It's part of like all his songs basically. Like he always does that move. So I'm putting it in C tier because like there's some shows that are similar to MJ and Friends performances. I will get to them and you will hear my thoughts on them. They're basically just like the better versions of this performance, honestly. We have Gothenburg, August 16th, 1997. A lot of people really love this performance, and I've seen some people think it's the best Billie Jean performance of the History Tour, which I disagree with a lot. I don't see how that's possible, because this is an August 1997 show, and this is like the leg of the tour where he's slow, or maybe not slow, but he's in a weird state. There's less dancing, and he's less wild, I think is the best way to describe him on this leg of the tour. But besides that, it is a good performance. He's having a good time, which is good. He's smiling while singing live, mind you. And he sings the Breaking My Heart ad-lib in a really unique way. He elongates it, which sounds really, really good. And there's some unique dancing, some alterations to how he usually does things. For example, when he would do the kick normally, here he does like a cool pointing upwards move and like spins around. But it's good, but you know, it could be better. And I think a lot of other 1997 performances of the tour are better. So I'm putting it in C tier. Now moving on to Copenhagen, August 14th, 1997. Now, I am from Copenhagen originally, so I've always found this performance to have a special place in my heart, even though I used to hate it, honestly, even though it is in Copenhagen and I like the location, the venue, whatnot. I used to think this performance actually just sucked peanuts, like just choked on peanuts because it was so bad, but you know, it has grown on me, and in fact, I like it a lot. I think it might actually be my favorite August 1997 performance of Billie Jean, because he does some cool alterations to the choreography, but he still maintains the way he used to do it. He doesn't do less movements here, actually. Like, he dances more here than he does in Gothenburg, I would say. The breakdown is interesting, too, because the standing moonwalk he usually does, he shortens it here. Like, he basically skips it and goes directly into a moonwalk, which seems super cool. Also, when he starts the performance, I think he only thrusts, like, 3 times. Like, in any other performance you'll find, he does it at least 4. I think this is the only performance where he does it 3 times. Yeah, I'm putting in C tier. Moving on to Helsinki, August 26th, 1997. I do not like this performance, but I can acknowledge that it is a good performance, even though I don't like it. I don't like his mannerisms here. Like, that sounds really rude, but like, he's more himself here. Like, he doesn't really have that angry demeanor that the usual Michael Jackson persona is. Like, he isn't that aggressive here, which a lot of people like, which I understand, and I like it too, but I prefer it when it's the normal angry, aggressive demeanor, which the 1996 leg has a lot of, so I usually gravitate toward those performances, but I need to acknowledge that this performance is really good, especially for an August show. It is probably the most energetic Billie Jean performance we have when it comes to August shows, because he does a lot of dancing and unique stuff, and he sings a lot too, with some interesting ad-libs, and he laughs too, which is nice. It's lovely to see him smile. It's really good to see him smile, and because of that, I'm putting it in B tier. He's a happy man, which means I am a happy man as well. Now we go to Seoul, October 11th, 1996. Now, as I was saying, I usually gravitate towards 1996 performances compared to 1997 performances because of the demeanor, and the worst of this leg of the tour, 1996 leg, it's not bad at all, because there's still a lot of dancing. I like a lot of dancing, which is why History Tour is my favorite tour, because I really, really, really like dancing, and obviously I like vocals too, but when I think of Michael performing live, I usually think of his dancing more than I think of his singing. Back to the actual performance. This is interesting because he's clearly sick here, or something. Something. He's out of his mind, it seems. And he seems angry, which is cool, which fits the song. He's also slower, which is interesting to watch, but it also makes his performance seem a bit weaker, but I still think it's really good. But because he's slower, he elongates the way he does a lot of movement. For example, when he does the robotics during the breakdown, they seem really, really good, which is why this performance has one of my favorite Billie Jean breakdowns like ever. It's just super good. Like, there's one cool ad-lib, but that's it, and his ow sounds cool, but the mic is so low you can't hear it that much. But else the vocals are pretty bad. So I'm putting it in C tier. Los Angeles on January 27th, 1989. Now, a lot of people know this performance because it's in Los Angeles. That's mainly what gives it recognition. It's the venue. That's how it goes for a lot of performances, honestly. At least to my knowledge. This is a really good bad tour performance. I think It was probably one of my favorites when I started entering the bad tour, and it has always stuck with me because the vocals are really good and the instrumentation sounds really good too. And now that we have a high quality sound mix audio of it, I'm grateful. But yeah, I'm putting it in A tier because it's one of the best, but I have other performances that I think are better. So moving on to the Super Bowl show on January 31st, 1993. This performance is not that good. It's very short. It's too short, to be honest. I don't know why he performed it such a short while. Like, I know that Super Bowl shows have to be like 15 minutes. Super Bowl halftime shows, mind you, have to be like 15 minutes or something. But I feel like he should have extended this song and shortened some other song. Like, I don't have much to say about this performance. I feel it's very lacking because it's too short. I'm putting it in E tier. Now we go to Seoul on June 25th, 1999. Now, this is what I was talking about when I said that the MJ and Friends shows are just better versions of the MTV 1995 performance, because they are. For starters, they have a live band, which sounds fantastic, really really good, and the dancing is also just better. Like, plus the outfit is better. Like, he takes the fedora off for like 5 seconds and puts it back on. So it's really cool to see him perform the chorus of the song with the fedora on. I really think that's really cool. And the dancing is super cool. He does the moonwalk to the opposite side. I like this performance a lot. I do, but it's not one of my favorites. I like performances that are the full song of Billie Jean. That's it's lacking a bit because it's not the full song, but what the performance does have is really good, so I'm putting it in B tier. And now the brother of this performance is in Munich, June 29th. No, June 27th or June 29th. Is it June 27th? It's June 27th, right? On 1999. It's the same as Seoul, actually. It's just like they're equally good. I'm putting it in B tier. In B tier. I totally forgot the Brunei history to his show, so I'm just gonna do it here real quick. It's C tier because the dancing is good, the vocals are good, but I really don't like the angles. But in general, it's just standard. It's just good, really. This is tier 3, which I call kinda known. I call it kinda known because these performances are kinda known, obviously. I doubt they're anyone's first viewing of Billie Jean. I highly doubt that. But they're still known. If you're like an MJ fan, you most likely know of these. You've watched them before. Starting off with Copenhagen on July 20th, 1992. Now this one is really special to me as it released, or it leaked, after I became an MJ fan. So it kind of was my sign that Michael Jackson was the artist for me, because a concert in my country, in my hometown, leaked after I became an MJ fan, kind of just said to me, yep, this is for you. There's something symbolic about it, I think. The performance itself is really good. It used to be my favorite Billie Jean performance, but it isn't now, because, opinions change. It's mostly due to the vocals, because I feel like they could be better. He sounds exhausted, especially compared to other performances of the song. Like earlier performances of 1992, his vocals are way better. Whereas here, as I said, he sounds exhausted. However, the dancing is really, really good. The moonwalks are fantastic, all of them. Especially the second one, because he does and then pushes himself away into the glide. It's so cool. For that, I'm putting it in B tier. Moving on, we have Basel on July 25th, 1997. This one is probably one of the most energetic ones we have in Pro, actually. Right next to Manila, December 10th, 1996. Like, this performance is fantastic. It's almost flawless, honestly. My only gripe is the vocals, because he sounds interesting. Like, when he does the ow, it's like, he does it weird. He doesn't do like ow, he does like ow. It's weird. But all the other vocals sound good. But like, because of that ow, it kind of takes me out of it. It's not as good as other 1997 ows. But visually, it's super, super, super good. Also, some of the vocals are good, but mostly it's like the energy and his dancing here is fantastic. It's probably one of the last energetic performances of 1997. I'm gonna put it in A tier because this is a fantastic performance. Not one of my favorites though, but it's super, super, super good. Bucharest on September 14th, 1996. Now this one is a lot of people's favorites, I've heard. They say it's very reminiscent of the Dangerous tour. I see it a bit, but I wouldn't really say it's like very reminiscent of it. But I can see the resemblance a bit, the movements, how he dances. but I wouldn't say it's very dangerous to risk. It has a bit of dangerous to essence, it does, and it's very energetic, and there's a lot of dancing. There really is. However, there's a lack of vocals. Sure, there's ad-libs that are live, of course, but his microphone isn't turned on probably like in time, so he sounds really low in volume, so you can just hear him sing really low, which that sucks. That's a lacking part of the performance, but the rest is really good. I'm putting Bucharest in B tier. Next up, we have the Dangerous Tour rehearsals on May 16th, I think, in 1992. Now, this is a rehearsal, so we have to keep that in mind. However, the vocals, they're really good and unique. His vocals sound very soft. You know, not like she was more like, no more like he was more like. It sounds very soft, and I really like that. The dancing is a bit iffy considering it is a rehearsal, but there's some cool alterations to the choreography of the performance, which really makes it very appealing to look at, even if it's a rehearsal. It's also cool just seeing him perform Billie Jean with a green shirt instead of the Billie Jean outfit. I'm putting it in C tier. Now we go to Sydney on November 16th, 1996. Now, a lot of people really like this one. I like it too. However, the style of dancing here is looser, not sloppy, mind you, not sloppy, very different, which is cool in some areas of the performance. I do like it, but in other parts it just seems, again, like loose and not that sharp or tight, kind of, which makes me dislike it a bit more. Also, his vocals are kind of some of them are good, but some of them are just because of his laryngitis, which does bring it a bit down. However, like in the breakdown, there's a unique moment where usually he waits a bit before starting the dancing. However, here he skips. Like, he starts dancing faster like he did on the Bad Tour and some Dangerous Tour shows, which is pretty cool. I'm putting Sydney in C tier. Now we have Madrid on September 23rd, 1992. Now this one is probably one of the most interesting performances of 1992 because his dancing is, in some areas, kind of similar to the History Tour. And what I mean by that is that he's kind of more wild here. For example, after the second chorus, he usually does a Pig in the Flowers move. I'm just gonna call it PTF, it's easier. He usually does the PTF move into the second verse, but here he skips it and just walks to the side and does the heel tap instead, which I think is pretty cool. Like, it's very unique, which makes it special. And also during the second verse, he does a cool combo where he usually does the toe stand, but here he just like goes down and like pulls out his leg. I want to put this performance higher, but the vocals aren't as good as other September shows. Like, there's interesting ad-libs, and his demeanor is very aggressive, which I like. Like, we have two good ankles, one from the right side far away, and we have a middle to the left, kinda. It's a close-up, which is really high quality, which I love. The atmosphere of that angle is amazing, because you're so close to him. Like, it feels like you're in the audience watching him perform. It's awesome. It's really cool. But the vocals aren't that good. The dancing is really good, but the vocals aren't that good. They're okay, could be better. I'm putting Madrid in C tier. Auckland on November 11th, 1996. This is the better Auckland show, to be honest, or at least in terms of Billie Jean. The vocals are better here overall, I'd say, kinda. I mean, he sings more here, which is nice, and this performance is very cool because the breakdown is probably one of the longest breakdowns we have, and the chorus starts playing in the breakdown where it's normally just drums, which is so unique. It's the only performance where this happens. It's super cool. I love it, and the dancing is amazing. There's that loose style I mentioned in Sydney, but here I just think there's better dancing overall, and I really like it. Honestly, it's one of my favorites, but it's not one of the best overall, I'd say, but it's really good, but not one of the absolute best, I'd say, but still one of my favorites. So I'm putting Auckland November 11th in A tier. Now we go to Kuala Lumpur, October 27th, 1996. Now this one is peak. I love this performance so very much. It is probably my favorite. No. It is my favorite Billie Jean performance from the History Tour that we have in pro footage. It's so good. The ad-libs are fan-fucking-tastic. I need to stop cursing, but the ad-libs are so good, so strong, and he's so wild with it. And his movement too. Oh, his movement is sharp as hell. The only thing that sucks about this performance is not actually the performance, but it's the quality that is in. It's pretty bad, but honestly, the original file of it looks okay. Like, also, just in general, if you look past quality, a lot of indie performances have really shit quality, so if you can look past that, you can stick around in this community for a long time. I would say this performance is basically perfect. Basically. Like, sure, there's some issues with Isaiah's keys, but like, it's not that notable in Billie Jean, at least not to me. It doesn't bother me, and it just sounds really good. I love the band; it sounds so powerful, especially the drums. They really get you grooving. Yeah, this is honestly just a basic, perfect Billie Jean performance in my eyes. I'm putting it in S tier. Now we go to MJ and Friends. However, the rehearsal on June 24th, 1999, in Seoul. Yeah, this is a rehearsal, but he dances as if it wasn't. And in the breakdown, it's really, really cool because he takes off his fedora and dances through the breakdown without a fedora. I think this is the only time he did it, basically, and it looks super, super cool. Well, at least on stage, it was the only time he did it. I think he did it in some kitchen rehearsal or something, which I will mention later, actually. Yeah, it's so cool seeing him dance through the breakdown without the hat. And I also wished the footage we have of it didn't have reporters talking over it because it.
네, 여러분들이 상당히 좋아하시고 또 많이 아시는 그런 멜로디들이 흘러나오고 있는데요. 빌리진이 지금 흐르고 있죠.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to hear what's going on because of that, but whatever. I'm putting it in B tier. Now we go to Manila on December 10th, 1996. Now this is a very wild performance. It's super wild. The vocals suck ass. They're horrible. Really, probably some of the worst vocals you can find if you look through pro footage, anyways. But the dancing, man, the dancing. There's so much of it, and like, even in parts where there usually aren't, like even during the second pre-chorus, he does really cool movement, which he usually doesn't do, which I love. I love it. This is such a good performance. The vocals just suck ass. Like, his laryngitis is really heavy here, but also there's a really, really cool robotic section doing the breakdown, and it's so good. It's so fucking good. I'm putting it in A tier. Tokyo, December 31st, 1992, and oh my god, I love you. I love you. I love this performance so fucking much. The Elvis being like, you know you did it, baby. It sounds so fucking good. Like, it. Oh my god, this is one of my all-time favorite performances. S tier, just S tier, immediately. And we have Johannesburg on October 12th, 1997. Yes, 1997. It's the penultimate show of the tour, so Michael's obviously tired, and it's very evident. He's very slow here, but it still has its charms due to the instrumentation being really, really strong, and the way he sings also sounds really good, even though he's exhausted. Also, really cool first moonwalk. It's really slow, which seems very, very cool. But he's really tired, and some of the executions are pretty weak. Like, the first kick he does is not even on cue. Like, he does it too early. So, I'm putting Johannesburg in E tier. Tunis on October 7th, 1996. I love this performance. It's so good, and it's very underrated. Like, a lot of people forget it exists, but it's still most viewed. Like, you watch it, and then you forget it exists. Even though you know it exists. It's weird. It's known because of the location, and it's only show in Tunis. And we have a low quality-ish amateur recording of it, which really shows the crowd's reactions, and it's priceless. It's so good. And he's so smooth here. Like, this is probably one of the most smooth Billie Jean performances you can find. The only thing that's kind of missing is the toe stand, because there's no toe stand. Like, after the moonwalk, it seems like he wants to do the toe stand, but he doesn't. It's kind of interesting. Also, the vocals are very interesting because he kind of sounds on the brink of being sick, but he isn't. So he sounds really, really good. Yeah, I love the vocals. I love the vocals. I really love the vocals. And of course, I love the dancing. This is one of my favorites, even though there are better ones. I'm putting Tunis in A tier. Now we have Tokyo, September 13th, 1987. The vocals on this performance is amazing, like really, really good. This is the second show of the Bad Tour, so obviously his vocals are pretty good here. And not just pretty good, they're fantastic. I think he sings the wrong lyric during the second pre-chorus, however. But still, like, all the other vocals sound so good. Even though he sings it wrong, it sounds good. That's just Michael. Like, that's basically just Michael for you. He sings lyrics you don't understand, sounds good. That's how he works. But like, this is a good performance. It's in low quality though, but still, if you're gonna pass that, this is a really, really good performance. But you know, he's still learning how to do it. See, like this is the Bad Tour, so it's a bit different than the Victory Tour and the tour prior. So it seems like he's trying to transition a bit. But the vocals is what makes this performance good. But the dancing still needs a bit more revision and it needs to be a bit revised. I can't say that word, but I hope you know what I mean. Revised. It becomes better on later down the tour. I'm putting it in B tier. The Victory Tour Patrick Kelly mix of 1984. I'm pretty sure this is like a mix of different performances, but I don't know all the performances. I know some of it is Chicago, I think. Chicago, and maybe some of it is LA, Los Angeles. Like, I'm not sure. I just know it's a mix, so I'm just counting it as one instead of going like angle. If the left angle is one show and the right angle is another show, I'm just going by the mix. It really shows the essence of the Victory Tour really, really well, in my opinion. It's a great quality. I just wish that there wasn't as much audience interviews as there were, because there's a lot of those clips. Like, there's only like 2 minutes or maybe 3 minutes of the actual Billie Jean performance. But the rest of it is just audience interviews, which does take me out of it. I'm putting it in C tier. Then we have more Victory Tour here. This is the Thriller 40 Los Angeles footage, or at least some of it is from Los Angeles, and it's really, really high quality. It's 4K. This was recently released due to the Thriller 40 documentary also recently releasing. This is really, really good. I really, really like this. I wish we could have it in full. I'm not the only one who wishes that. Basically, every fan wants this in full, but like we probably won't get it, unfortunately. But hey, we can hope. But I highly doubt it. But the performance is, well, there's basically two. Like, there's different dates in this, actually. Like, it's sometimes there's like on the left side there is a show, and on the right side there is a show going at the same time. So you can see like two performances side by side being compared officially, which is interesting. It's actually so very good. Like, it looks so good and it sounds very good too, even though it's mono. I really like this. I'm putting it in B tier. Brisbane on November 28th, 1987. This is the last show of the first leg of the Bad Tour. I think, like, what's his name? I think Stevie Wonder was at this show performing with Michael doing this Bad song. This performance is pretty cool because it's very audible. It's only audio, by the way. It's very high quality audience recordings though. It's cool because the breakdown is longer than other 1987 performance of the song, so it's clear like he's more like his 1988 Bad Tour self here than his 1987 Bad Tour self. The vocals are good, but like there's nothing too special about it. I think I'd had to actually see it to really like it more, so I'm putting it in C tier. Now we have the History Tour 1996 rehearsals. The video snippets. There's not much to say here really, other than it's cool seeing it rehearsed. I really, really would love like a full History Tour rehearsal to be leaked or released. I really want to see that. I think there's some cool ass potential. Maybe we could hear some songs being performed fully live if it's a really early rehearsal. Who knows? But it's cool seeing it rehearsed, but there's nothing too special here. There's not like a pristine amount of energy or something. It's just standard, so I'm putting it in C tier. 30th anniversary show, however, this is just the September 7th performance of 2001. This gets a lot of shit because Michael is high, I think here. He's out of it clearly. Like, his dancing is very sloppy, but it's still very good dancing because there's a lot of it. Like, okay, that doesn't really make sense. That's like quantity kind of thing. There's a lot of dancing though, and there's a lot of interesting dancing. It's kind of reminiscent of late 1997 History Tour shows, but combined with 1996 History Tour shows, which is a really cool insight, mind you. I would put this really high on the list, honestly, because there's unique dancing and the audio is great quality, has a great atmosphere and all that jazz, but there's some major screw-ups. He fucks up the moonwalk. Like, he moonwalks like, that's it. It's not a long, it's a very short moonwalk. And he does it on the black rubber parts of the stage, which doesn't allow him to properly slide. So he's kind of stuck on the floor. And that's the only moonwalk there is. One moonwalk. Bro. And the vocals are interesting. Like, his mic is turned on very late. And the vocals he sings sounds good, but not that good. It's clearly like he's kind of out of it. But it's an interesting performance, if anything. I'm putting it in C tier. Now we have the other 30th anniversary show on September 10th, 2001. I don't like this performance. This is like a history tour, late history tour 1997 performance, except there's very little dancing. The only cool thing here, though, is that you can hear his live singing like over the playback. That's really cool, but like the main performance else, like visually, is not that appealing. The breakdown is cool. It's a classic version. Like, he actually does a moonwalk during the breakdown here. Even though that's not shown during the pro mix, he does it in the amateur recording. You can watch it for yourself. In fact, you can watch it right now because I'm fucking showing you it. That makes it really cool. And he also does a beatbox, but like the main part of the performance is just boring. There's just not enough dancing for me to put it any higher than D tier. It can't be higher, to be honest. It's just boring. The vocals are cool, but you can only hear them sometimes, but it's D tier. Now we have a history tour show, Gelsenkirchen, on June 15th, 1997. Now this is really, really good. This is a really good performance that I used to kind of hate for some reason, but then I liked it, but then I hated it, and now I'm just like, yeah, this is good. I have accepted it. It's really cool, and it's really high quality, and we have a really good angle, really close up to the stage, and he is very energetic here, which is so nice. The vocals here aren't bad, not at all, but they aren't the best either. There are better 1997 shows with better vocals, but these vocals are good either way. And the dancing is really cool. There's some interesting moves here, interesting combos too that I really, really like. I'm putting it in A tier. We have another history tour show, which is Wembley Stadium in London on July 12th, 1997. I used to hate this. I used to think this was so fucking boring. I was so overrated. But I see why it has a good reputation, because the vocals are really, really good. And the dancing is smooth as hell. It's a weird performance to be honest. It's just a weird atmosphere to it. I can't really explain it. Like, I can't really explain it. Yeah, I don't really know what to say. It's a good performance, but that's just it, actually. I don't have much more to say. I'm putting it in B tier. Once again, I forgot a performance. This time, it's Amsterdam on September 30th, 1996. Now, this used to be my absolute favorite performance by Billie Jean because it's just almost flawless, basically. His dancing is really, really good. All the executions of every movement is spectacular. And the vocals are good too, though they could be better. But in general, this performance is really, really, really good. And his mannerisms are awesome. Like, he does this cool guitar dance, like he plays the guitar like an air guitar. It's so awesome. I'm putting it at A tier. Now we go to tier 4, and this is a big one. There's a lot of performances on this, because these are lesser known performances. I think that these performances are only known by people who are MJ fans and who like actively watch Michael Jackson performances, or you're someone who were at the show, you were an attendee at the actual shows back in the 90s or 80s, and you want to see if there's a footage of it or something on YouTube. You're probably that person who watches this. Else, like standard MJ fans who just like his music, who watches some of his live performances, most likely do not watch these performances, and that's why it's in lesser known. Starting off with Mexico City on November 11th, 1993. Now, I consider putting this in the previous tier known because a lot of people know it, but I don't think it was kind of seen as it was mislabeled, I think, as the Brazil show, one of the Brazil shows, which it obviously isn't, is the Mexico show, which kind of gave it an identity crisis, I guess. But I don't think a lot of people know it, unless, again, you're an MJ fan or you were at the show. That's my conclusion of it anyways. I really like this performance. The vocals, he sounds kind of dry because it's the last show of the Dangerous Tour, and the 1993 leg is, it's a controversial leg. Like, there are some vile allegations about Michael that you most likely know of. This performance is good. I really like the dancing. It's clear he's tired. Like, you can see it. He's tired. Also cool, like, this is a tower footage. Like, this is shot from the tower in the audience. So it's a really cool perspective. Like, you're seeing it on top. Like, No, okay, maybe not like that. I like the perspective. I like the perspective a lot, and I like the dancing a lot. The instrumentation is also great, even though it's not the best audio. I think it's great. I'm putting it in C tier. Now we have Santiago in Chile on October 23rd, 1993. I love this performance. This is my favorite 1993 performance of Billie Jean because it's so good. Like, it has the dancing, and it has good vocals, and it has good audience recordings. The only thing that is whack is the audio quality could be better, but else it's really good. Like, the audience is really captivated by him, and they show support to him, which is very important at this time of the year. I love this performance, honestly. S tier. I'm putting it in S tier. It's one of my absolute favorites. Now we have Dublin on July 19th, 1997. This is a really wild performance. This was known as the wildest Billie Jean performance for a while. However, I think another performance has a beat, and I'm gonna go down to that show down the line as well. But for now, this is the wild show. It's really, really good. The vocals are really interesting too, and they sound really, really good too. I think it's a daylight show, basically. I think it was performed in daylight. At least that's what it looks like from the audience recording. It's a really good visual performance. There's a lot of dancing, and I love it. Like, there's some wild dancing here, some really unique things. Like, after the second chorus, instead of doing the PTF move, he does the tap dance instead, which looks so cool. I love it. But it's not one of my favorites. I think it's because of the audio quality. It sounds kind of dry, I would say. There's not a lot of punch to it, which doesn't make it seem interesting, even though the visual performance is very, very good. I can't put it any higher than A tier. Now we have Osaka on October 10th, 1987. This is fantastic. The visual quality isn't though. Like, that's horrible. It's worse than Kuala Lumpur. Like Kuala Lumpur looks like some ball sweat, but this looks horrible. It looks like someone took a paper roll and put water on it and put it all over the fucking screen, and then took a shit on the fucking screen and then threw it in the toilet and tried to fish it out again with a fishnet. That's what this looks like. It's trash. But the visual performance is fantastic, and the vocals are fantastic. The quality sucks dick, but the fucking performance itself is fantastic. I love this performance so much. One of my absolute favorite bad tour performances. I'm putting it in S tier. Then we go on to another bad tour show. We have Los Angeles on January 26th, 1989. This is a really good performance. I think it's better than January 27th, even though we have a high quality soundboard recording of that. This is just an amateur recording, but I think the performance itself is way more interesting and just way better in general. I think the vocals are better, and that's always what I have to take into account, considering we don't have visual performance of it. I think we have like a snippet or something of it. But yeah, the vocals are really good, and I like it more than the other Los Angeles show we have. I'm putting it in S tier. Actually, S tier, because it's so good. It's one of my favorite bad tour performances. I probably should have stated that, but it's one of my favorite bad tour Billie Jean performances. Barcelona on September 18th, 1992. Now, this performance is one of my favorites of the Dangerous tour. The vocals here are really good for the Dangerous tour. Not to say the Dangerous tour has horrible vocals or anything, but like, this is one of the better vocal performances of the tour, anyways. Like, even the ad-libs are very interesting, unique actually, very unique compared to other performances. Usually, the Dangerous tour has very similar ad-libs, like from show to show to show. The ad-libs are very similar with slight changes. However, here he sings some very unique stuff you'd probably hear on the History Tour, actually. Even does like a History Tour-esque movement, which is so cool. And also, I'm just gonna show you one of my favorite parts of it, and you're gonna love it. If you haven't seen it before, you're gonna love this. Trust me. It sounds so good. Like, it just sounds so fucking good. But I think the dancing is what brings it down. Like, during the pre-chorus, it looks like he's about to jump and do the kick, but he's late, so he jumps and points, which looks lackluster. So there's a lack of dancing here, and that's what brings it to A tier. I would have put it in S tier, but there's not a lot of dancing for my taste. But A tier is still very good. The performance on Prague, the premiere show of the History Tour on September 7th, 1996. This performance is interesting because it's the first show of the History Tour, so Michael has to get used to performing again. The vocals are interesting, but his mic is turned on late, which is unfortunate. So there's no ow, which, I'm a sucker for that. I love that shit. The dancing is cool, but he's clearly maybe nervous or something. Because he does moves before he usually does them. Like the ankle breaker, he starts before the cue is. Which looks a bit odd. Like he starts it and then like exits it and then begins doing it again, which looks weird. And he also fails the moonwalk. Like he slips and like turns into a robotic movement, which is a nice save, but it's obvious it's a fail. How about the beatbox at the end? Ooh, I love the beatbox. But still, him being nervous, it's too evident for my taste. So I'm putting it in D tier. Next up, we have Nishinomiya. I don't know how to say that. I most likely destroyed that. Nishinomiya. I need to stop saying it. It was on September 21st, 1987, and this performance is good. It has good vocals. I don't have much more to say, honestly. Like, it's just amateur audio. There's not much more to take from it. It's good. Not bad. It's good. It has great vocals. Probably better than other performances, honestly. So actually, I'm putting it in B tier because of the vocals. Now we have Soul on October 13th, 1996. This is an amateur recording, and this is basically just, in my opinion, the better show of the Soul shows. The Soul shows. The vocals are way better. He sounds sick. He does sound sick, but he's more active here. He kind of sings it like the Dangerous Tour, except with a History Tour style, if that makes sense. And the dancing, there's a lot of dancing here, and he seems energized compared to the first show where he's slow. Here in the second show, he's much more energized, and he has rapid movement. But also, my god, the band. The band sounds fantastic. The guitar is very active, I think I could say. Like, I love it. It's one of my favorites, honestly. I'm putting it at A tier. Now we have one of my favorites, which is Tenerife on September 26th in 1993. We used to just have audio of this, but now we also have like half the performance in like really good quality, shot from a TV crew. And oh my god, I love this performance. I truly do. It would almost be perfect, but it's missing a few things. Like, I would want more ad-libs. No, actually, I would just want an ow. And that's missing. If there was an ow, it would be an S tier, but for now, it's an A tier. It's really good. There's some wild dancing. So yeah, it's A tier worthy for sure. Tokyo, December 12th, 1992. I love Tokyo. I fucking love it. Though we only have 14 seconds of this performance, like snippets of it, but somehow that's enough to immediately say that this performance is peak. Like, the dancing is unique. His hairstyle looks amazing. The hairstyle makes me go crazy. I dream of the hairstyle, okay? I am in a romantic relationship with the Tokyo 1992 hairstyle. But I would need to hear the performance to really determine how good it is. But from what I've seen so far, it's B tier, at least. It's probably better, honestly. But that's it for now. Moving on to another Tokyo show, we had Tokyo, December 19th, 1992. Now, again, this is Tokyo, and I love Tokyo. The vocals here are really strong and really loud. Like, he really fills out the stadium with his voice here because he sounds fantastic. However, this is not one of my favorite Tokyo shows, but it's still, regardless, so good. I'm putting it in A tier. Now we have yet another Tokyo show, and this is my actual favorite Tokyo show, and this is December 30th, 1992. This Billie Jean performance has my absolute favorite Billie Jean vocals. I think the way he sings here is flawless. The ad-libs are fantastic and they're unique. And the vocals in general just sound so good. And the instrumentation, oh my god. Even though it's a low quality amateur recording, it sounds so good. I love it. It's my favorite vocal performance for sure. So I'm putting it in S tier. Moving on to Zaragoza, September 26, 1996. I love this name, Zaragoza. Like, the way it's spelled looks so cool, honestly. And just like that, just brings it up tier list. No, it doesn't. But I would want it to if that was something that would have effect or weight on how I rate things. But It can't. The performance itself though is actually really good. However, the recording is kind of like cut up. Like it keeps cutting, which is very unfortunate, and the camera angle's very far away. I think some dude shot us from his apartment or something, because you know he lives in a skyscraper and you can see down into the stadium where Michael's performing. So it's cool, but the quality is it's not that good. Still, the vocals are really good. Like I'm putting it in A tier. Amsterdam on June 8th, 1997. I love this performance so much. I love it so much. I wish we had the full performance. We almost do. We're missing like the start, but we can't see the rest of it until like the first pre-chorus, I think, because of the camera angle, unfortunately. But the quality is actually okay. I love it. He's so energetic, and there's unique dancing, which I'm a sucker for, and the vocals are interesting. It's kind of funny because it's just him yelling, "Woo! Woo!" Kind of does it a lot, but still the rest of the ad-libs sound really good. And like the transition from playback to live vocals, it's seamless. I don't know when the mic is actually turned on. I love it. It's S tier. It's one of my favorites. Moving on to the other Amsterdam show of 1997. This is on June 10th. This is not as good. Nope, not as good. The vocals are not that audible, but they sound good. And he starts off the performance really energetic, but then his hair becomes loose. Like his hair bun thing falls out, so he has loose hair, which is so cool, and I think it's the only Billie Jean performance where he has his hair loose, and it looks so good. Though it is a bit hard to see due to the video quality, but still it's very cool. But that doesn't mean the performance is as cool as the actual, special thing is. It is good though, but it's still like, after like his hair becomes loose, he loses a bit focus, honestly. I think that's the best way to describe it. And for that, like, it's only the first half of the performance that's really good. The rest is just, I'm putting it in C tier. Now we have May 23rd, 1988. This is just amateur audio, so I can only determine what I like out from the vocals, obviously. And it sounds okay. It's an okay performance. I can't say much more than that, honestly. So I'm putting it in C tier. Then we have the other Rome show in 1988 on May 24th. Now this is interesting. This is another one of those wild performances because he dances very differently here than other Bad Tour Billie Jean performances I've seen, and I really like that. I'm putting it in B tier. Turin on May 29th, 1988. The vocals here are really good, honestly, and I think it's the first time he does the he things. I think it's the first time, and it sounds really good. It raises it because of that, but also it's super high quality, which amazing. Just amazing. I'm putting it in B tier. Now we have Vienna, June 2nd, 1988. This is a good performance, but I don't have much more to say than that. It's audio, I can only judge out from its vocals, and they just sound okay. Nothing too interesting here, just standard. I'm putting it in C tier. Rotterdam, June 5th, 1988, which is also just audio. The vocals here are better than the Vienna show, I'd say. There's a good atmosphere here, as there usually are with Bad Tour shows. But I really like his vocals here. Though they're not like supreme or anything, I think they're better than normal. I'm putting them in B. I'm putting Rotterdam June 5th in B tier. Gothenburg June 11th, 1988. This one we have video of, which is cool. I think this was like dude just filming the show from his apartment, similar to the Zaragoza show. The performance itself is, to be honest, not that interesting to me. Like, a lot of people really like it, but for me, it's just like, it's just I just see it as a standard Billie Jean performance from the Bad Tour. There are other Bad Tour Billie Jean performances that I think are way better. So I'm putting it in C tier. Next up, we have the Minneapolis. I don't know how to say it. I do not know how to say it. Minneapolis on May 6th, 1988. I don't know how to say it. I can't say much about this because we only have short snippets of it. I can't really determine anything, to be honest. So I'm putting it in non-applicable. Next up, we have Leeds on August 16th, 1992. I think this actually is the first performance of Billie Jean where they start using the bass. I'll just show it. Why did I have to try to use my voice to do it? I'll just show you it. Like, that bass is actually my favorite thing about the Dangerous Tour bass. And honestly, I prefer it than the normal Billie Jean bass. It just sounds so much better with it. Gives it so much more rhythm, in my opinion. But the rest of the performance is standard. It's just standard. His vocals are good, but nothing special. So I'm putting it in C tier. Next up, we have a Wembley show on August 20th, 1992. This is just C tier. I don't know what to tell you. Like, some people be like, oh, Wembley shows are the best Michael Jackson shows. Are you sure about that? Are you sure about that? Because I don't see it. Like, some Wembley shows are really good, sure. But there's a lot of other shows on Michael's tours that are better, honestly. This show is standard, to be honest. I don't know what to tell you. Like, the vocals are good, but nothing special. Just standard Dangerous Tour vocals, to be honest. I'm putting it in C tier. Another Wembley show on August 22nd, 1992. This performance is okay, but like, it doesn't catch me at all. I think it's probably the most boring Billie Jean performance that we have from when the Dangerous Tour. There's just nothing special about it, to be honest. So I'm putting it in D tier because it just does not intrigue me at all. I think it's so boring to listen to. Just like it's just not special. There's nothing interesting. Just listen to the previous show. It's better. Like Frankfurt on Frankfurt. I don't know why I think that's funny. It's on August 28th, 1992. This is an interesting performance. There's no toe stand after the moonwalk. I think it's the only Billie Jean performance from the Dangerous Tour of 1992, mind you, that doesn't have a toe stand. And I can't really say much about the vocals here because he's quite inaudible because of the audio quality. It sounds like someone put the fucking audio tape under a fucking tank or something and it just got driven over. That's the audio. It's like, that's literally how the fucking audio sounds like, and it sounds horrible. The visual quality is pretty good though, and the visual performance is also really good. But I need to have better audio of it before I can judge it completely. So for now, it's just in C tier. Now we have Ludwigshafen 1992 on August 30th. And oh my bejeebus, I love this performance. It is one of my favorites. It's in S tier. The dancing is very wild. It's so good. And also he sings a lot more here than he does in any other Dangerous Tour show. Like, I think his hair becomes loose, but we don't see it, so I'm just thinking, like, because we see him, there's a cut, and then we see him again on the Jumbotron, and then you can see him fixing his hair at the microphone stand while singing. Like, he's singing during the ankle breaker section, which is so unusual, so he's clearly not doing the ankle breaker, but instead singing. Which sounds so good. It makes the performance feel so much more complete, honestly. S tier, I love you, Ludwigshafen. I love you. Now we have another German show. This is Berlin on September 4th, 1992. This is an interesting one, because he has a really interesting hairstyle, and he's also wearing a t-shirt with a cut into it, which is what he wore in the earlier shows of the Dangerous Tour, so that's interesting. The vocals here are actually okay, and the visual performance is standard, I think, but I think I want to see more of the performance to judge it properly. We have most of the performance, but there's some cuts that make it difficult to see what he's doing, but he sings really well here. I'm putting it in B tier. Bremen, May 31st, 1997. Now this was basically labeled as June 6th Bremen show for a very long time, but like, it's now mostly known as the May 31st show because it matches. I compared it to the Billie Jean snippet we have of the May 31st show, and the audio matches perfectly here. So I'm putting it in B tier because the vocals are super good and the interpretation sounds great. So B tier. Now we have Kansas City on July 6, 1984. This is the first performance of the Victory Tour, and what a wonderful start. This performance is actually my favorite Billie Jean performance from the Victory Tour. It's so good. The guitar is so amazing, and Michael's vocals are okay at times, but most of the time they're super good, and I really like it. I actually really like it. S tier, S tier. Now we have another Victory Tour performance, Dallas on July 14th, 1984. This is not as good as the Kansas performance, to be honest, but there's something cool. Like, he pulls up his sleeve like this. Like, he has his sleeve like that for the most of the performance, which is very unique for Billie Jean, and it looks super cool. And his vocals are good too, but there's nothing too unique to it other than that, like nothing too special. Also, the quality fucking sucks. Like, that looks like it has been drowned in a fucking lake or something. Like, it looks horrible. B tier, because it's good. It's better than most Victory Tour performances, I would say. But it's still not, like, it's not a peak, but it's just good. Now we have Yokohama on October 4th, 1987. Or at least that's what some people label it as. I'm going off of MJ Live and Rare videos, because a lot of his dates seem very accurate, so I'm going off of his dates of this performance, and he's saying it's October 4th, so I'm trusting him here. If any evidence goes towards that, please let me know, and I will obviously, think of this performance as another date. But for now, it's Yokohama, October 4th, 1987. This performance is interesting because the camera is just one angle, and it's just an angle focusing on his glove and his footwork, and it's very interesting just seeing a performance from that angle. Angle, I'm sorry. But unfortunately, there's some people talking over the audio, so it's difficult to hear Michael singing, but I'm putting it in B tier. Tier 4. Now we have Amsterdam. Now we have Amsterdam on October 2nd, 1996. This is actually a kind of boring one. The audio quality is really high, except there's some distortion. Sometimes it's distorted. It's like it peaks it or something. I don't know how to explain it. But it's mainly high quality. But it is just audio. And his microphone is turned on late. And when it's turned on in the start, his vocals are so low. Like, you can barely hear him. And then it gets turned on and his vocals are alright. They're not bad. And they're not some of the best. But, like, I think the previous show is better. And the previous show to the previous show on September 28th is way better in terms of vocals. But whatever. I don't have much to say, honestly. I like Amsterdam shows. They're usually pretty good. So I don't see why this one would be any different. But I have to see the visual performance to determine that, of course. I like that he does an ow at the after finishing his ad-libs. The last one he says, like, doggone lover, ow, or something. It's so cool, actually. I like the ad-libs, but, like, the previous shows are just better. And, like, honestly, most other 1996 shows are just better, or more interesting, or more captivating. I'm gonna have to put it in D tier. Now we have Budapest on October 10th. On September 10th, 1996. Now this is a show right after Prague, and Prague is the first show of this tour. And I actually like this more than Prague, because for starters, he doesn't seem nervous here. If you hear some screeching in the background, that's the wind, so, no one's screaming, no one's dying in the background, it's just the wind, okay, it's just the wind. But I like this performance because it has a really high quality soundboard recording, or almost soundboard. It's a really high amateur, I guess, but it sounds so fucking good. Like, it's so high quality, and it's fantastic. And we have half the performance, we have the full breakdown, and like almost 2 minutes of the start. And I really like what we see. I would like to see the full performance, but for now, I really like what we have, honestly. So for now, I'm putting it in C tier. But I bet if I see the full performance, I would put it higher. I think I would. I know I would. So let's hope it get leaked. Let's hope I can fucking talk. Let's hope it gets leaked. Warsaw, I don't know how to say it. September 20th in 1996. We only have like a short snippet of this, but there's actually some stuff to determine here. Or there's enough stuff for me to determine my opinion so far. For starters, she does the James Brown shuffle, which is, one of my absolute favorite moves done by Michael Jackson. And I like the drums, I guess, but they sound kind of just, actually, they just sound similar to Budapest. But so far, from what I can see, it seems like a standard performance. Of course, I had to see more to determine more than that, but for now, it's in C tier. Now we have Montpellier. I think I'm pronouncing that right. It was on August 12th, 1988, and this is one we have audio of, and like the snippet of the breakdown, I think. I like this one, but I can't really say much more than that, to be honest. I don't have much more to say. I'm putting it in C tier. The vocals are good, but like most band performances have good vocals, so there's nothing really peculiar about this one, except, we have some stuff in the breakdown and it seems energetic, but yeah, I can't really say much else. It's C tier. Now we have the Pensacola rehearsal. This is interesting, but I don't think it's that good. I think the thought of it is interesting, but the overall rehearsal performance is just, it's so basic because it's a rehearsal, The vocals are really good considering it's a rehearsal, but that's about it. I'm putting it in C tier. Then we have Kaohsiung on October 20th, 1996, and I fucking love this performance. It's a really interesting one because he's quite slow like he is in Seoul. except here he has better vocals for sure, and I really like this performance. It's a jumbotron recording, but honestly, it doesn't take anything away from me here. I just really like this performance. He is slow, but he does some really cool things here. For example, he does the picking the flowers move, but backwards. Like he reverses the order of the way he usually does it, and it looks so cool. And also, the vocals. The vocals are so fucking good. And he also sings, like he sings a unique ad-lib, like he sings, "You're nothing but a..." It's... It's so good. I fucking love this performance. The moonwalks suck though. Like his moonwalks here actually fucking suck. They're not that good. Like he's almost stuck to the floor. Like he has glue on his fucking shoes. It doesn't look good. Probably some of the worst moonwalks, honestly. And that brings it down a lot. Plus he's really slow, so I'm putting it in B tier, even though I really love it. Now we have New York City on March 5th, 1988. I really like the vocals here, but I don't have much more to say than that. Like, it doesn't intrigue me much. It's just good, it's just in the middle. I think a lot of these performances, I really want just to see them, because the vocal performance or the audio-visual performance isn't just enough to intrigue me. I imagine if I saw it, the visual performance of it, I would put it higher. I'm certain I would. But for now, it's in C tier. Now we have West Berlin on June 19th, 1988. This is a really good show, and it's a really important show, because the Berlin Wall was still up at this point. And I think there were some claims about you could hear his concert on the other side of the wall. I just think if that's true, the thought of that is fucking awesome. Like, that is monumental. That's so awesome. That's timeless. Imagine. You don't even have to be at the show. You can be on both sides of the wall and you can enjoy the music. That is so special. United, even though a wall separates us, we're still united. That's fantastic. I fucking love that thought. This show is very special, and I really wish we would have it in full pro or just an amateur video of it. We have amateur audio though, but like, wow. And the vocals are really good too. Like, this is just a really good show overall. I'm putting it in B tier because I wanted to put it higher, but I can't. I can't just let something special about it judge the performance on its own. But the performance on its own is really good too, so it's in B tier. Now we have Paris on June 27th, 1988. I like this audio actually. But same as with the New York show, there's nothing too special about it. I just like it, but that's about it. I just like it. C tier. Now we have another bad tour show. This is Cologne on July 3rd, 1988. And now this one is a fucking banger. I love this performance a lot. Like, the audience is clapping throughout the entire song, which puts on such an amazing atmosphere. Like, just watching it, this high quality amateur recording where you both see the jumbotron and you see Michael on stage and he's just grooving and he's singing so fucking good here. Like, this show has fantastic vocals and the dancing is really cool too. It could be better. Honestly, there are other bad tour shows that I think have better dancing or more dancing or whatever. But I really like what we have here. Though it is not one of my favorites, but I really do like it, so I'm putting it in A tier. Now we're gonna have like a burst of Wembley shows of 1988, starting off with the first one, July 14th, and it's actually really good. The vocals are really good here, like he's so active, and I listen to these shows and now I think, yeah, okay, these are the better Wembley shows. When I think of good Wembley shows and I think like Wembley shows are peak, I think of these shows, Bad tour Wembley shows are really good, like all throughout, honestly. I support the claim that those are some of the best shows of the tour. I support that, I support that. Do other tours still the Wembley shows there? I wouldn't really say all of them are some of the best. I wouldn't say that. Anyways, let's get back to the topic here. July 14th has really good vocals, but I need to see it to put it higher because it's not that interesting without it, The vocals are good, but they're only so good. I'm putting it in B tier. The following show on July 15th, and this is the same as July 14th. It's equally good, to be honest. I like the vocals, I like the atmosphere, and I can't say anything else. Like, it's just good. Better than standard, honestly. So I'm putting it in B tier. I have July 22nd, and now this one has video, and it's really good. It's really good. The vocals are so good, especially compared to July 16th. Like, that show's vocals just, it's not up to par, man. But this show is bonkers with the vocals, and the dancing is really good too. Though I do like July 16th more with the dancing, but else this one is way better. Like, in a standard concert perspective, it's better. It's better. So I'm putting it in B tier. Now we have Wächter on July 22nd, 1992. I think of this one as a better vocal performance than Copenhagen. Like, it's similar to Copenhagen, except that it has better vocals. I don't know how the visual performance is. I obviously need to see that. Like, if it has as good dancing as Copenhagen, then it is better by Copenhagen, because the vocals are better here. I'm putting in C tier because the vocals might be good, but like, he's not as active as he is in Copenhagen, but in general the vocals are better here. But Copenhagen is higher because it has good dancing, and here I don't know how he's dancing. So. Dublin on July 25th, 1992. Oh, this is a really active one. Like, I used to really enjoy this one before Copenhagen. Like, this, I loved it so much. I remember putting it on SoundCloud myself and just listening to it on the bus on the way to school back in the day. Oh, I love it. He's so active here. And then Copenhagen came out and I was like, oh my god, he's like, it's like Dublin. Because Dublin is like, he's so wild with vocals because he sings so much, so many hee-hees. I love it. So I fucking love it. But, the vocals in general aren't that good. Like, Wächter has better vocals, but less vocals. Dublin has more vocals, but not as good vocals. For now, it's just in C tier, even though I like how active he is. I'm just gonna go to Copenhagen because it has video instead. C tier. Wembley, July 31st, 1992. Oh, this is a good one, but that's about it. It does sing good here, but that's all I can say. I want to see video of it, because the vocals aren't good enough to put it any higher than C tier. It really isn't. Like, it's just good. It's just standard good Dangerous Tour stuff. C tier. Now we're moving on to Cardiff on July 5th, 1992. This one is really good. Like, this is just better than the Wembley one I just covered. It's just better. The vocals are so good, honestly. He sings less here, but he sings really well. And also, he's performing in rain, so they had to stop the show temporarily to wait for the rain to settle down. It was interesting. So I wonder, considering it was a break between, like, I think it was between I Just Can't Stop Loving You and the Motown medley. I think there was a break there. So I wonder if Michael has regained a lot of energy now. Like, imagine if he has so much energy because of the break that he's even more energetic than Billie Jean. I think that's a cool thing to think about. So I'm putting it in B tier. Now we go to Bangkok on August 27th, 1992. On 1993. That was embarrassing. The vocals here are actually really good. Like, 1993 gets a lot of shit because the vocals suck. Well, some shows, yeah. But like, a lot of 1993 shows actually have good vocals. You know, this one, Bangkok, the vocals are quite good. They really are. But it is kind of hard to hear because the audio quality is so fucking trash. Like, the audio quality sounds so fucking bad. It's like if you took the cassette recording and fucking stomped on it. It sounds so trash. Regardless of what I can hear, he sounds really good. Like, he does. He does. But I think I need to hear it more clearly to actually judge and watch it to put it any higher than C tier. It's in C tier. Moving on to Moscow on September 17th, 1996. Ooh, this is one of my favorites from the history tour. It's so fucking good. Like, this was one of those performances that every time I listen to it, I just start grooving. I just start bobbing my head. Like, I don't normally do that with just, standard performances. But like this one, I always just sit like, always, every fucking time. Because it sounds so good. Like, the audio recording we have is not the best quality, and the recording is in shit quality. Recently, actually, a new rip kind of surfaced, so that's nice. And it's actually way better, to be honest. It's way better, so fuck yeah. And his dancing here is so good. Like, it's like Bucharest, except it's better. Compare this to Bucharest, like, this is just Bucharest on steroids, with no downsides. The only thing I don't like here is the vocals, because his microphone, I think, is turned on a tiny bit late. So you can hear his ow. You can hear it, but it's like, ow. It's not like, ow! It's not really loud. It's just like, ow. It's just like I mentioned with Basil a few videos ago. But the rest of the vocals are good, and his dancing is so good. And I love his fucking demeanor here. It's awesome. It's really awesome. But like, the really whack ow here is just not good enough. So I'm putting it in A tier. I want to put it in S tier, but I can't because of that. Now we have Stockholm on July 17th, 1992, and this is one of the better ones from this tour, from the Dangerous tour. For starters, this is a daylight, so that's interesting from the get-go. But he sings wildly here. Like he does an ow in the middle of the chorus. He never really does that. Like he did it sometimes during the Bad tour, but since then he's never really done it. And then during this show he fucking does it again, and it's fantastic. Like he's really wild, like with his movement. He does the moonwalk with the main moonwalk, and then like spins to the opposite side, like towards the audience, and then spins into his normal spin. That's so cool. This performance is just honestly so good. And when he starts a breakdown, like he goes to the opposite side. Like normally he just puts the hat on, but here he spins to the opposite side and puts the hat on. So he's kind of facing his back towards the audience. If that makes sense. I'll just show it. I'm putting it in B tier. Then we have the other Stockholm show on July 18th, 1992. This one is just worse. You know, the other one is peak, this one is not as good. Also, the video recording doesn't really allow us to see enough, because kind of sometimes either someone's head or someone's hand gets into the fucking camera lens, so we can't really see what's going on. Coffee. But the vocals are good here, they're better than Copenhagen. The visual performance is okay, but I had to see more, I guess. But the performance itself is just... I like Copenhagen more. This is in C tier. I'm putting this in C tier. Now we have Hamelin. And no, not the Hamelin, not the military launcher. No, just Hamelin. You know, the town, the city in Germany. On August 13th, 1992. This is a wild one. Like, this is one of the wilder ones from the Dangerous tour. And it's really, really cool. Like, his vocals are fantastic. And his dancing is so active. Like, he does a lot of dancing here. And it's so fucking enjoyable. The only thing that sucks is the video quality. And I guess the audio quality. But the worst thing is the video quality. Because it's so fucking blurry. Like, you can see it on a little Jumbotron. Like, it's like, the screen is like this small or something. Like, it's so fucking hard to see, bruh. It's just a cool thing. Like, the floor is slippery, I guess. So he comes in points... For some of the guys to come out and clean the floor, and like he just sings meanwhile, and he sings so much, and it's just so good. I love it. But the instrumentation sucks. Like, the first few shows of August 1992 have like the worst instrumentation of the tour, and it's audible here. You know, this is one of those shows from like Cardiff August 5th to like Hamelin. The instrumentation fucking sucks. Then we go to Leeds August 16th, and the instrumentation becomes good again. But like Cardiff, Bremen, Hamburger, and Hamelin have like shit instrumentation. Like, they just suck. So this brings it down. So I'm putting Hamelin in A tier. Now we have Hamburger on August 10th, 1992. This is just Bremen except better. That sums it up. That literally just sums it up. We have over half the performance, though it cuts out. So we don't really see the moonwalk. We see the second moonwalk, but I want to see the whole damn thing, dog. But the vocals here are good, way better than Bremen, and the visual performance is way better than Bremen too. It's really good. But just because it's way better than Bremen doesn't mean it's super good. So it's in C tier. Now we have Sao Paulo on October 15th, 1993. This is the snippets we have footage. No, not the audio, just the video snippets that we have a bit of. I am really interested in this. The vocals sound good of what we can hear. There's not that much we can hear. But also, like, he starts a chorus and like puts his hand up and like slaps his head like, Billie Jean, not mine. It's so cool. But I have to listen to the whole performance or watch the whole performance to judge it more. So for now, I'm putting it in C tier. Now we have the next Sao Paulo show on October 17th, 1993. This one we have the full performance of in audio, and the vocals here are quite good actually. They're better than Buenos Aires. However, the ad-libs in Buenos Aires are more interesting. Now this one overall is better in vocal wise. And the owl here is really good too, and the audience is fantastic supporting. They're just so supportive. But there's some like radio hosts talking over it, and it's so fucking unironically funny. Because it's like, Michael Jackson! Like, the quality isn't the best, so moonwalk! The moonwalk! It's funny, okay? Not to make fun of them, or the Brazilian language, the Portuguese language, or anything. But it's just the audio quality makes it seem funny. But I have to watch the performance, honestly. Because his vocals are good, but, you know, I don't think they're good enough to put it any higher than C tier. But I bet if I watch it, I'm putting it way higher on the list. But for now, it's in C tier. Now we have Cork on July 30th, 1988, and I do not have much to say here. I just like it, and that's it. Like, I don't have much to say. It's just another one of those standard shows, so I'm putting it in C tier. Now we have Marbella on August 5th, 1988. The fucking visual quality here sucks. It sucks whale penis. Like, oh my fucking god, this is trash. It's trash, bro. Like, the frame rate is whack. The frame rate is whack and the visual quality is whack. And the performance itself is standard. Like, it's C tier, okay? Like, there's nothing interesting except the performance is standard. The performance is standard. The visual quality sucks dick and the audio quality is meh. Also, nothing wrong with sucking dick, by the way. I'm not homophobic. I'm just saying it as a way to say that sucks. You can suck all the dick you want. You're welcome to suck dick. Okay, this is just a disclaimer. Nothing is bad about sucking dick. I'm just saying it here because it's a reflex. That sucks dick. You know, it's meant in a bad way, but I have nothing against anyone who sucks dick. Alright? Maybe I should just stop saying it sucks dick then. You know, I'm gonna try to stop saying that because it makes it seem like I think it's bad that you suck dick, but you can literally suck dick and it's okay, you know? I'm just gonna continue. Now we have Barcelona on August 9th, 1988. The band here sounds so very good, honestly. Like, this is one of the better instrumental shows of the tour, of the bad tour. Like, the pre-chorus here sounds it sounds so good. I love it. The visual performance is okay, because we have video of this. The visual performance is okay, and the vocals are great, and the band sounds fantastic. But it's not one of my favorites at all. Like, I think there are other bad performances that are better, so, you know, it's better than most, so I'm putting it in B tier. Now we have Wurzburg on August 21st, 1988. This is another one of those standard performances. Like, there's a lot of them. Obviously, there's a lot of standard performances. Like, that's just a given, you know. And this is just yet another one of them, alright? I just need to see it. The vocals are good, but they're just that. They're just good, so I'm putting it in C tier. And we have Wachter on August 23rd, 1988. This has standard vocals, and honestly, like, another part of the performance from this show, like, he seems really slow here. So I don't know how he is on the visual performance of this show. Like, that's an interesting thought. But for now, I'm putting it in C tier because the vocals are alright. You know, nothing special. C tier. Wembley, August 26, 1988. Now, this is another one of those good Wembley shows, and I'm putting it in B tier, alright? Because the vocals are great. Like, they're really good here. So, and I can't really say much else. Like, in general, they're just really good here, so I'm putting it in B tier. Then we have Leeds on August 29th, 1988. So this was actually on Michael's birthday. And I really like this performance. Because of his birthday, and his vocals are also kind of raspy. So that just makes it a lot more interesting. But in general, still the vocals are just alright. No, they're not super good or bad or anything here. They're just alright again. So I'm putting it in C tier. But it's cool it's on his birthday. That's a really nice thing. Then we have Liverpool on September 11th, 1988. Oh, this is interesting because there's a huge ass crowd. I think this was the most attended MJ show ever. Like, I think it was like 225,000 or something. But the performance itself is just standard. That's not bad. Mind you, that's not bad because Michael's standard performance is fucking fantastic and still better by miles than a lot of other performances today. That's just how it is. It's C tier. Still really good though. East Rutherford or East Rutherford, I don't know. But it's on Octave. It's on October 6th, 1988. This is really good vocals. Yeah, that's it. I don't know what to say. Like, a lot of these shows, it's good and that's that. Nothing interesting, it's just good. Putting it in C tier. Yet another C tier show. Oh yeah. Now this is the last show of this video. And we have Landover on October 18th, 1988. Just watching the amateur recording is just funny because there's just so many watermarks and like different colors. Like, what the fuck? It's like, There's just a green one, there's a red one, there's a white one. I think there's a blue one too. Like, what the fuck? Like, okay, I get that you want to get credit for filming the concert, right? I get that, but like, Jesus Christ, why do I have to be in so many fucking colors, bro? Why do you have to put so many watermarks? Just put it one look at my screen here. Just put one like here, not like one here and here and here and here and here and here and here. Just like one here or something. Like something like red, so it cannot be removed. And if it's removed, you can see something has been removed. So either way, you know, your watermark is still there even though it's removed because we can see it has been removed. You know what I mean? Anyways, all that's nonsense. The performance is mid. It's C tier. This one has visual performance and it's really high quality, but it's honestly just boring, and it has a boring atmosphere because like people keep walking up in front of the camera like they're just why are they walking around? Would have to go to the toilet and take a shit or something? Like, Jesus Christ! Like Michael Jackson's performing in front of you, and you're just like. Why? Why are you trying to walk away, bro? This is Michael Jackson. Like, imagine just walking up down the stairs like that. That's unbelievable. I just rambled. I'm sorry. I just rambled. I'm sorry. But I can't stop. Because I love rambling about these nonsense things, right? Tier 4. So this is the final part of the Tier 4 list. Tokyo, December 10th, 1988. This is just audio, low quality audio. But the vocals here are really, really good. I really like this one. And the ad-libs, there's like some really unique ad-libs here. Like it's actually kind of hard to make out what he says, but it sounds so fucking good. Like, you have to hear it if you haven't heard it already. This is so fucking good, honestly. Tokyo shows from all tours are just peak. All of them. For some reason. I'm putting this in B tier because the vocals are really good. Moving on to another Tokyo show. This is December 17th on 1988. Or, I'm not sure if the date is actually December 17th, but that's what MJ Live and Rare says. So, I'm going off his dates because they usually seem to be correct. So, this one we have video of, and I really, really like this one. This is one of my favorite Billie Jean performances from the Bad Tour. Because that Tokyo energy is just so unique. And also, like, the Tokyo hairstyle here is so cool. You know, it kind of looks like the Tokyo 1992 hairstyle, but, you know, just a Bad Tour version, if that makes sense. It's not that visible here, but, you know, if you watch the pro tape we have of the first night in Tokyo, you can see what I mean. But let's continue with the actual Billie Jean performance here. I really like his vocals here. They do sound a bit weak though on some parts, but else I actually really like it. Else he sounds really good here. And the dancing is good too. I like it. I like the more later style of the Bad Tour dancing compared to earlier, like during like 1987. Obviously I can't compare 88 to 87 that much. There are similar, but not really at the same time. I have to see more like early 1988 Billie Jean performances. I want to see video of that, like US shows. That would be amazing. But for now, I really prefer how he performs it later on during the Bad Tour. So this is one of those shows, and I really like it. I'm putting it in B tier. Now we have Rome on July 4th, 1992, and this is one of my absolute favorites. I fucking love this one. Like, this is straight up just peak all the way through. Though, like, he fucks up doing the pre-chorus. He accidentally sings the same line twice. But in general, overall, like, the vocals here are super, super good. And the dancing is really, really good too. Like, this is one of the absolute best performances from the Danger Store in terms of Billie Jean. Like, it is so fucking good all the way through. Like, wow, man. S tier, okay, this is S tier because this is just fucking peak. I love this one so goddamn much. Oh my fucking god! Like, this is one of those performances I just watch so frequently. Every week I watch this at least once, every fucking week. Ever since I've edited it and uploaded on my channel like years ago, I keep watching it because I love it. S tier. Then we have Monza on July 6th, 1992. This is the first Monster show, but we have audio of this and like 1 minute, almost 2 minutes, low quality video snippet. But the vocals here are super fucking good. Like, they're the same level as the Rome show. So honestly, if I saw video of this, I would probably put it in S tier. But for now, it's an A tier. The vocals are super, super good, and the instrumentation sounds really good too. Like, early July shows have some of the best instrumentation from the tour. And then, you know, late 1992 and then 1993, of course. That's the best invitation from this tour, I think. I'm putting it in A tier. Then we have the other monster show on July 7th, 1992. This is not as good, but at least this one has video, and the dancing is really, really good. And the vocals are good too, though not as good. He also sounds a bit low in volume, and when he starts the first pre-chorus, like he sings like, "People, careful what you do." Like his mic kind of fades out or something. Or I don't know, maybe he just didn't sing. It's not visible really, but I like it. Also, there's a unique ad lib. Like, I'll just show it. I think it's "You Know It, Baby." It sounds so good, and he seems so aggressive here. Like he seems angry here, and I don't really know why. Something is clearly annoying him. I don't know what it is though, but it's interesting to look at. I'm putting it in B tier. Paris on September 13th, 1992. This is probably one of the better shows of the Dangerous Tour, though I definitely need to see it. We only have footage of like jam and when I'm starting something, and then of course audio of a lot of songs from the show, and Billie Jean is one of them. Though, you know, it's the standard September vocals. It's on the better side, but it's not better than like other shows, so I'm putting it in C tier, but I bet if I watch this performance, I'm putting it in probably A tier, because he has so much energy at this show, so I don't see why the Billie Jean performance would be, you know, different. Yeah, for now, it's in C tier. Now we have Toulouse on September 16th, 1992. This is another show in France, and this is better than Paris in my opinion. There's less dancing here than most 1992 shows of the tour, but the vocals are really good here. There's a really unique ad-lib here that I fucking love, and anyone who's heard it loves it. I'm gonna show you. Like, it sounds so good. I'm not even gonna try to do that. It just sounds so fucking good. Oh my fucking god, I'm putting that shit in B tier. I would put it higher if there were more dancing, but there isn't enough dancing. So yeah, it's in B tier. Now we have Obiado on September 21st, 1992. This is so good. Like, wow. Definitely one of the better performances of this tour, like the whole show in general. I especially love Jam from this show. It's so good. But on to Billie Jean. The vocals here are good, but he does sound a bit weak sometimes. But generally, they're pretty good here. The dancing is really smooth. Like, he's so smooth all the way throughout here. I really like his attitude here. Especially after the moonwalk, it's just so cool. Like, he just does my favorite move, the James Brown shuffle, instead of singing. It's so fucking good. But if the vocals were stronger, I would put it in A tier, but for now I'm putting it in B tier. However, the moonwalk he does here is probably one of the best, if not the absolute best moonwalk he's ever done. It's so fucking good. But the rest of the performance is in B tier, but that moonwalk is like fucking amazing, right? But if the vocals were better, I would put it higher. But for now, it's in B tier. And now we have Singapore on August 29th, 1983. And this is one of my absolute favorite Billie Jean vocal performances. It's so good all the way through. I wish there were more ad-libs, but the vocals, like the main vocals here sound so good. Oh, I love this. You know, I'm just gonna show you just some of my favorite vocal parts from it. I really like this one. I'm putting it in A tier. Then we have Fukuoka on September 10th, 1993. The jam and Wanna Be Starting performances from this show seem really energetic, and like he seems really happy here, which is fantastic. Though it's evident from like the Wanna Be Starting song performance, the vocals aren't the best here, and the same goes for the Billie Jean performance. The vocals aren't that good here. Like, he sounds kind of weak, and his voice breaks for a short moment when he's singing, during the pre-chorus. And there isn't a lot of ad-libs either here. Like, after the moonwalk, he sings an ad-lib, but it sounds like he sings it, but you can only hear the last part of it, so I'm guessing he's probably dancing. Like, his vocals are like this, and then his microphone comes close like that. It's probably something like that, because we don't have video of it, we only have audio. And unfortunately, I'm gonna have to put this in D tier, and it pains me. But the vocals just aren't that good at all. Like, one of his most weak vocal performances from the Dangerous tour, and just, of those tours where he sings fully live. Though Billie Jean, this is probably one of the weaker ones. The way he sings after, like, the moonwalk sounds really good. That sounds really good, but the rest of the vocals aren't that good at all. Moving on to the next Fukuoka show on September 11th, 1993, and this is the exact opposite. There are so many vocals here, like there's so many ad-libs here, and his vocals sound so good, like all the way through. This is one of my favorites. I'm putting it in S tier. I fucking love this one. Like, from 1993, this is probably one of my most, no, not probably, this is one of my most wanted shows to have video of, like, because we have no video of it. And I want to see this show so bad, because he's so vocally good here. Jesus, and he's so active, like he sounds energetic when singing because he's singing so much. I love it, it's S tier. We have Moscow on September 15th, 1993. This is a really interesting one because, like, it's raining throughout the whole show and it's heavy rain. It's like, it fucks up his performance. Like, it's very visible during jam, like he's sliding around, like literally sliding around. You can just watch any upload of this, actually. Like, I'll just show you. I'm really interested to see how he performs Billie Jean because he sings a lot more here than he usually does. Like, for starters, it sounds like he's beatboxing during the intro. He might be using a headset mic here. I doubt it, but it could be, because for starters, he's beatboxing during the start. It sounds like either that's the back vocalist or there's some guy in the audience fucking recording it beatboxing, or it's Michael beatboxing. And also, when he's doing the ad-libs, like he does ad-libs like he does during the Victory Tour, and it sounds so good. Let me just play that for you. And then in the breakdown, he also ad-libs. That's so fucking rare. Like, he does like, like he keeps doing it in the breakdown. It sounds so good. So this performance is really, really interesting, and the vocals in general also are quite good here. I would really love to have video of this, but for now I'm putting it in A tier. Tel Aviv on September 19, 1983. This is again one of the vocally better shows of the tour in general. Like, I don't have much to say here. It's like a standard 1993 vocal performance, but just better. Like, there's not an excessive amount of more vocals like there is in the second Fukuoka show, but there's an interesting vocal here. It's common for him to sing it during the 1992 leg, but rare for him to sing it during the 93 leg. And it's the, you know what you did to me, babe, you know, that vocal. He rarely does it during 1993, but this is one of those shows where he does it. And it sounds really good. I really like that. So I'm putting it in B tier. The other Tel Aviv show on September 21st, 1993. Now this one we only have like short snippets of in terms of video, but it's really high quality. We can determine his energy from it, and he seems quite energetic. And it seems like during the moonwalk, when he's about to start it, he doesn't really go into the usual like moonwalk pose. No, I'll just show the usual moonwalk pose. But if you look at the video footage here, it doesn't really look like he's doing that, or if he does, it's very minimal. And then he moonwalks, obviously. But the vocals sound good. They sound like the same quality that the previous show has. But I want to see more. I want to hear more of it to determine more. So for now, I'm just putting it in C tier. Then we have Istanbul on September 23rd in 1993. And once again, this is one of my favorite Billie Jean performances. One of my favorite Billie Jean vocal performances. It's so good all the way through. I especially love the second pre-chorus. Like, he starts it with a he. That's really rare too. And it's so good, like all the way through, it's so good. And he does an ow and I love it so goddamn much, man. Jesus Christ, S tier. Then we have New York City on August 4th, 1984. This is actually one of my favorites from the Victory Tour. I really like his dancing here, and I like his vocals, and I like the atmosphere, and I like his demeanor. Like, all of it is just really good. And I actually don't have much more to say than that. Oh, actually, yes, it's just Like, I think this is the first time where they showed the moonwalk from the horrible front angle. Like, where to see the front of his feet instead of from the side. Technically, the front of the stage, but... Like, I don't know why the fuck they would do that. Like, it ruins the perspective of the moonwalk. I guess it makes people look, like, if you're at the show and you look at the Jumbotron and then you see the moonwalk and you see it from that horrible angle, you're like, I can't see shit, and then you look at the stage instead, so you see him do the moonwalk. Because if you see him moonwalk on stage, it looks better than when you see it on the Jumbotron, because the Jumbotron camera, like the camera films him and follows him. And that kind of minimizes the illusion of him moonwalking. But when you just look at him and you see him move like this, then the illusion is better. It's interesting how that works. So that's my theory to why that is. Back to the performance, it's really good all the way. I'm putting it in A tier. Oh, that's so good. It's a coffee cocoa combo. It's really good. God damn. Then we have Los Angeles on December 7th, 1984. I don't have much to say about this one. I think this is just a standard Victory Tour performance. Though from what I've seen from the Thriller 40 footage that shows Los Angeles shows, it's visually really good, and vocally it's really good too, but it's just standard Victory Tour level, I would say, vocally. So I'm putting it so far in C tier, but I bet if I see this, I would love it. Now we have Fukuoka on December 28th, 1996. I would actually have put this down in the forgotten tier, but I realized it has gotten a bit more traction in the recent years, so it's a bit more known now, so that's why it's in lesser known. But like, it's either in this tier or the forgotten tier, but I think it's in here because more people talk about it, I've seen, so yeah. And interestingly enough, when the playback starts, it sounds like he's singing live for the playback, just the first few the sentences. I'll just show you. Like, to me, that sounds live. That sounds absolutely live. And especially the hiccup thing he does. Oh my god. That sounds live too. And also the ad-libs, oh my fucking god, they sound so goddamn good. Like, his vocals here are fantastic. But I really want to see it, because I'm gonna have to put it in the C tier, even though the vocals are really good, right? They're really good. I really want to see this, because the instrumentation sounds kind of dull, but that's probably due to the audio recording, but it still sounds dull either way. So I'm putting it in C tier, even though I really like the vocals. We have the MTV Video Music Awards rehearsal, but this is one on stage where Michael's wearing the Billie Jean outfit, and I'm pretty sure he just finished Billie Jean, so I can kind of count it in on this list. But like, he's just, having fun and laughing and stuff, but I can't really, and it's not really a performance at all. It's not even barely a rehearsal, so I'm putting it in non-applicable. Now we have the other MTV Video Music Awards rehearsal. This is the one in black and white, or gray, I guess, where he's just singing very lightly. Like, this one I can rate, and obviously the F energy is it's fucking low as hell because it's a rehearsal, but it still counts, and I'm putting it in F tier. Like, it's just a chill rehearsal, but it counts, so it's an F tier, because it's just, there's no energy at all. Cologne on June 3rd, 1997, and this one is peak. It's so fucking good all the way through, except the toe stand after the moonwalk is whack. Like, he goes up on the toe stand and falls down immediately. That's unfortunate. And his vocals, his live vocals are heard very late. Like, the microphone is fucking low for too long. I don't know why that is. You can hear him sing really low. Like, it's annoying, but you can hear him very quietly. And his vocals are so good throughout the show. Like, he sounds flawless, literally flawless vocals here. So I'm putting it in S tier. I wish we could hear more, but of what we can see, it's fantastic. And what we can hear, it's fantastic. Like, he even does moves from Blood on the Dance Floor in the Closet, which is fucking cool as hell. This is S tier. Now we have Milan on June 18th, 1997. This is once again peak. Like, I used to lean more towards Cologne in terms of which Billie Jean performance from June I like the most, but now I've actually started leaning more towards Milan because I think it's just overall more interesting, and there are more vocals here. As in, like, his microphone is actually turned on correctly this time at the right time, so you can hear him sing more. And his dancing here is quite interesting, and he seems so elegant here, I think is the best way to describe him. He seems so elegant, and he does interesting moves. For once, when you look at a Jumbotron, the camera has interesting angles that benefit him instead of like being interesting angles that don't really benefit him. But here it benefits him because he walks to the right side of the stage at one point in the pre-chorus, and the camera angle shows that fucking angle from the right side, so you kind of look directly at him even though he's walking to the right side, if that makes sense. And it looks so cool. This is S tier. I love everything here. I have Paris on June 27th, 1997. Recently, I have been enlightened by my dear comrades in the Discord server, and I used to think this one was June 29th, but actually June 27th is June 29th, but June 29th is June 27th, so the dates were just, I guess, swapped. It's C tier. I don't... I think if I saw the visual performance of June 27th here, I would love this so fucking much because June songs are my favorite 1997 shows. The vocals here aren't, perfect or aren't amazing. They just sound really good. And that is the 1997 standard, and they sound good here. Moving on to the other Paris show on June 29th. This is the same. I need to see it, and the vocals are okay. They're good. C tier. And now we have Vienna on July 2nd, 1997. Now, Wilmer's gonna kick my ass for saying this, but I really like this one. I actually really like Vienna. He might be high or sick, whatever the hell it is. He might be really sloppy in some of his movement. But it's really interesting. What he dances, like the type of movement he does here is really interesting. But overall, the performance here is good. The vocals are actually quite good here. Like, they're way better than Munich. And the visual performance is quite interesting. He is very sloppy, but he dances a lot, and I like that. I'm actually putting this in C tier, because it's not bad at all. Not specific to Billie Jean anyways. My other songs might suffer, but Billie Jean here is actually... I like it a lot, actually. I kind of want to put it higher than C tier, but his movement is sloppy, so it is in C tier. But if the movement he did here wasn't sloppy, I would put it probably at A tier, honestly, because he dances a lot here, and I like all the dancing he does. But it's in C tier. Yeah, don't worry, Wilmer. This is a C tier. It's not getting any higher. Now we have Munich, July 4th, 1997. Oh my god, the ad-libs here are so fucking good. Let me just show them. Like, that sounds fan-fucking-tastic. That's so badass. Jesus Christ, I'm surprised I didn't include this in, the pro mix. I guess the state doesn't have the multi-tracks from July 4th, which, that's the only way that it explains why they used July 6th vocals. Either way, the vocal performance here is really good, honestly. Like, very, very, very interesting. Not as good as June shows, but still good. The visual performance is really good, too. Though he's a bit sloppy in the start here. And also during the first chorus, he spins and he doesn't match the playback. That's the only thing I don't really like about it, and that he's a bit sloppy here. But the rest of the movement is really, really good. The breakdown is really short though, which is he does, I don't know what to call that, the crotch grab slide thing move. I gotta find a name for that. He does that early, he usually does that at the end, but here he does it in the middle of the breakdown, which is interesting. This is better than July 6th for sure, so I'm putting it in A tier. During the start he seems a bit sloppy, and if he didn't fuck up the playback thing, I would have put it in S tier. But those mistakes kind of take me out of it a lot, so it's an A tier. Now we have Wembley, July 15th, 1997. This one is fucking boring to me. This is probably one of the most, if not the most boring Billie Jean performance from the history tour to me. I'm sure the visual performance is fantastic here, I'm fucking sure. But we only have very short snippets of the actual visual performance, and we can't really determine much from it. In terms of his vocals, they aren't actually that good. This is one of the weaker vocal performances from the history tour, 1997, I think. It doesn't sound that good here. The first show sounds better, and the first show sounds even better than this one. So honestly, I'm putting it in D tier. I'm fucking putting it in D tier because I find it so goddamn boring. From the footage we have of our earlier songs, it looks fantastic. So much dancing, so much energy, and good vocals. But Billie Jean here, we only have short snippets, and most of it is just, we have the full thing in audio. High quality audio, mind you, but it just sounds so boring. So it's in D tier, unfortunately. Now we have Wembley July 17th, 1997, the third show here. And this one is way better. I think this is the better one of all the Wembley shows of 1997. Of Billie Jean anyways. Because it's really wild. Like this one is way more wild than the Dublin show. And I think this is the first wild Billie Jean performance of the 1997 leg. And I fucking love it. Though like the camera angle is really bad. Like it's just from the side. And then you cannot see his dancing probably because it's also really shaky. Though what we can see, he does some interesting ass fucking combos. Like just look at his combo doing the first kick. And that's fucking awesome. I love that. And he just continues being like that all the way throughout. Like he dances so goddamn much. I'm putting it in B tier. The vocals are good here. They're better than the second show. Definitely, they are good here. Yeah. Though not as good as the first show, but still good. Then we have Leipzig on August 3rd, 1997. I think this one is very boring as well. This show has an interesting hairstyle, very beautiful looking. Though, you know, the performance itself, I don't know. Like, I want to see it visually. I want to fucking see video of this. Because the audio of it is not interesting at all. The ad-libs are just good, standard 1997, nothing more. I'm unfortunately going to have to put this in D tier because it's just so boring, okay? It's just so boring. I'm just going to watch any other 1997 performance instead because that's more interesting. Well, I guess Wembley is more interesting, July 15th, I just mentioned it. I guess that's more interesting to me. I don't fucking know. They're both equally boring to me, unfortunately. I'm putting it in D tier. Then we have Hockenheim on August 10th. I'm August 10th. I'm now from Australia. Yeah, August 10th, 1997. We have video of like a very short snippet of it at the end of the breakdown. And he seems energetic there, but you know, he's usually kind of energetic in the breakdown, so. Usually. He does a really cool ad-lib. I'm gonna have to show you. You can't tell me this doesn't sound fucking awesome. This is so fucking good. But I have to watch it visually because else it's kind of boring. Like it's just that one ad-lib that really sounds really good to me. The rest is just standard 1997 to be honest. So honestly, I'm putting it in C tier. I want to put it a bit higher. If I watch it, I'm probably putting it at a B tier. Not more though. That's probably not possible because August shows are really not my favorite. So then we have Copenhagen, August 29th, 1997. This is probably, I think, the worst Billie Jean performance from this tour, if not maybe one of the worst Billie Jean performances ever. Because there's so little dancing, and it's obviously playback because it's the history tour, and there aren't many vocals either, and the vocals are just standard. Like, just standard. This is a birthday show, and you would think he would be kind of energetic because of that. He seems happy, though. That's really good. He seems happy. But the performance is fucking whack. It's so fucking boring. Like, all the way through, basically. I'm putting it in F tier. Now we have Austin on September 3rd, 1997. I really like this performance, but it's not that good, you know? Even though I like it, it's not that good. I like the vocals, and I like the sad vibe. I'm very intrigued by the sad vibe here. Princess Diana passed around this time, unfortunately. So Michael took it very hard, unfortunately. He is very visible in this recording. Like the vibe is so melancholic, but I'm very attracted to that for some reason. So, but the performance itself is D tier. But yeah, then we have The Bahn on October 15th, 1997. The fucking band here sounds so goddamn good, and Michael's vocals here are so good. Like he sings kind of like he does like a like shortly. It sounds so good, man. Jonathan Moffat, Michael's drummer who filmed this. So obviously drums are very, very loud and it sounds so fucking good. Though the performance itself, I need to see it to determine more. And his vocals are good, but there's not that many vocals, but I'm putting it in the C tier. Now we have the dance practice thing where he dances like in his kitchen and in his like his own like room or something, where he practices his circle moonwalk. This is obviously this is just a chill rehearsal. But again, it counts. You know, it's just practice. There's not much effort here, so I'm putting it in F tier. It is a rehearsal, and I almost should have included it, but I'm going to include it because I included the MTV Video Music Awards rehearsal, so it's an F tier. We also have the Billie Jean music video outtakes, though they don't really count because I'm only counting like actual rehearsals and live performances. So I wouldn't say this one counts. I'm putting it in non-applicable, but it's worth mentioning to Bond the Iceberg. Would be missing out. So yeah, this is it. This is an alternate band rehearsal. I don't have anything to say here because it's only a band rehearsal. There's nothing Michael here. There's playback, but that's it. I don't think Michael's actually on stage here, so I cannot rate it. It's a non-applicable. So then we have Tallinn, 1997 on August 22nd. I think this is probably just like Copenhagen and Gothenburg, but I need to see it because else it's really boring. His vocals sound great, they do. Especially his ow. Like his ow, it sounds really good. But it's pretty boring. Else, like, some shows have interesting vocals, but this one is not one of them. Unfortunately, I'm putting it in D tier because it doesn't have much going for it. Then we have Osaka, October 12th, 1987. The vocals here are really good. Like, absolutely really, really fucking good. I can't, it's only audio, so I can't say anything else than that, but his vocals are really good, and I really like them. So I'm putting it in B tier. And now the last one on this list, we have Hanover, on September 2nd, 1988. This is a nice audio to listen to, but his vocals aren't that good. But not like bad at all, but just not as good as a lot of other shows, but not bad at all. So I'm still putting it in C tier. And we have tier 5, which I've named Forgotten. Now when I say Forgotten, these shows are not really forgotten, right? But they're just never really talked about. People never really talk about these shows. That's basically what I think. And sometimes I even forget they exist, so you get it. Starting off, we have Madrid on August 7th, 1988. I almost put this in the previous tier, but I put it here because it's one of the newer ones we have. And it's in lower quality, so people don't really talk about it, I guess. But either way, this performance is actually one of my favorites from the Bad Tour. I really like the vocals here, and overall, I actually really like the Madrid show. Like from the other songs we have pro of, I actually really like it. And Billie Jean we have audio of, and I really like this as well. There are some reporters or some people on the radio talking over it, which for some reason, again, just like the Brazilian one, it's kind of funny to me. I don't know why, but I like the performance. I like the vocals a lot, actually. During the pre-chorus, he sings "Ha." It's pretty interesting. It sounds good. It sounds unique, honestly. I like this one. I'm putting it in C tier. Now we have Buenos Aires on October 10th, 1983. Now this one is talked about rarely, like really rarely. I never hear anyone talk about this one. There's like a rumor like going around that he didn't throw his hat at the end. Like when doing the breakdown, he was supposed to throw his hat, but he actually, he didn't throw it. I think he just pushed it off his head or something by accident. There's that rumor, which is interesting to think about. We only have audio of this leaked. I like the vocals here, but there's not really anything to determine that it's better than Buenos Aires October 12th, the one we have proof of. I think I'd have to see the full performance or hear the full performance, but from what I can hear, it sounds good, but equally as good as the previous show because the main vocals here we don't have much of it, and they sound kind of as good as the previous show, but like maybe a bit better. I'm not sure. The ad-libs are more interesting on October 12th, but again, we don't have the same parts, so it's kind of hard to make out. So for now, I'm just putting it in C tier. Now we have Tokyo on December 20th, 1996. We only have Billie Jean of this one leaked. I leaked it. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I leaked it. I like the Billie Jean performance here. I like the vocals. He sings really rare stuff, like really unique stuff. And his vocals here are iffy, like, they could be better. I think the first Tokyo show has overall better vocals in terms of quality, but here do more interesting vocals. I like this one a lot. The quality is great too, like it sounds very punchy, I really like it. But I'm gonna have to see it, so I'm just putting it in C tier, because it might have really interesting vocals, but they don't sound that good in terms of vocal quality, so it's in C tier. Now we have Adelaide on November 26, 1996. This is also just mainly audio, though we have like a snippet of like the main choreography. I think it's either the breakdown or it's the intro of the song. We have like a really short snippet. And this might actually be the worst vocals of Billie Jean, to be honest. Like they sound horrible, in my opinion. Like he does not sound good. But and the quality is also really just trash with the recording. some reason, I like it. For some fucking reason. Like, I don't know why, but it appeals to me. Either way, objectively speaking, this vocal performance is ass. I'm putting it in F tier because it's just straight up ass. Like, might be the worst, or at least one of the worst vocal performances of this song. So, F tier. Now we have Yokohama on September 25th, 1998. 1987, yeah. We have like some footage from the breakdown here, and that's about it, I think. There's not that much to determine other than it kind of just seems like a standard 1987 performance, at least in terms of the breakdown. I almost would have put this in non-applicable, but I feel like there is enough to, make an opinion of it, and I just think it's standard, so I'm putting it in C tier. Then we have Hamburg on July 1st, 1988. And now this one, there's not enough to determine, in my opinion. We only have like short snippets of the breakdown. There's some cool stuff here, but like, it's not enough for me to determine, to be honest. So I want to see more, I want to hear more. So for now, I'm putting it in the non-applicable. We have New York City on March 6th, 1988. This is the really low quality recording, and I forget this exists every fucking time. Like when I go to MJ Live and Rest channel to watch some bad tour stuff, I like, oh yeah, right, oh yeah, this show exists. I forgot. Yeah, I don't have much to say, to be honest. Like it's just standard from the bad tour, I would say. There's nothing really appealing about it other than its venue, I suppose, or that it's an early show, I guess. But for me, it doesn't really appeal to me, so I'm just putting it in C tier. It's pretty standard. Now we have an unknown snippet from 1992 of Michael moonwalking during Billie Jean. This wasn't included in like some English documentary, I think. So it kind of makes me think that this snippet is from like the UK, probably Cardiff, or maybe even Wembley. The hairstyle matches Wembley, and I think Cardiff maybe, but it matches Wembley for sure because he has a ponytail and he has a lot of hair under his right side of his face, which matches like both July shows, July 30th and 31st. So it could be either one, and I can't determine anything from this because it's just 2 seconds of him moonwalking. So what the fuck am I supposed to determine from that? I'm putting it in non-applicable. And now we have the other snippet where it's also just Michael moonwalking during 1992. And there's nothing to determine here. We can't even determine the show because it's just his footwork. We see it from an odd angle actually. So again, I can't determine anything. I don't even know where this is from. So I'm putting it in non-applicable. Now we have a Tokyo rehearsal on December 11th, 1992. We only have a snippet of the breakdown here of audio. So I can't determine anything other than I like the drums, I guess. But they just sound like, any other Tokyo 1992 performance. So yeah, I'm putting it in non-applicable. I won't be able to say a lot on a bunch of things from this tier, by the way, if that wasn't obvious, but whatever, let's continue. Then we have some early history tour rehearsals by Jonathan Moffat. It's like a snippet he put on his Instagram of audio, just banned. So I don't even know if Michael was here on stage. He probably was, to be honest, but I don't know. Putting it in non-applicable, it sounds good, but I can't determine anything Michael related. So now we have Gothenburg on June 12th, 1988. This is just a snippet of the crowd, and then you can hear Michael in the background because it's just audio with snippet of not him. Well, I guess there's like a snippet of him throwing the hat, but I cannot determine anything because it's hard to hear him and there's just so little of it. So I'm gonna have to put this in non-applicable, unfortunately. Manila, December 8th, 1996. We have short snippets of this, really low quality. Some of it is okay quality. From what I can determine, his vocals seem to be better than the second show. And his dancing, I don't know. He does a toe stand, he does a moonwalk, and he does a cool combo, I guess. That's all we can determine, really. So I'm putting it in C tier. It seems like a standard one so far, Probably if I see more of it, I'm probably putting it higher because the second Manila show is really good. So I don't think this one would be any different, but I'd have to see it. Then we have Basel on June 6th, 1988. This is again just an audio snippet, so I cannot determine anything, really. I want to, but I can't, so I'm gonna have to put this in non-applicable again. Lausanne, June 20th, 1997, the history tour show. This one is really interesting to me. Like, it's like the middle ground. It's like it's after Milan, and Milan is better for sure. It's way better, but it's before Luxembourg or Bettenburg, and I really want to see that show. So I guess this is kind of its predecessor. So I'm guessing Bettenburg is similar to this one. I don't know though, but whatever. I like this one a lot. I think it's better than some other 1997 shows. I like that he adjusted James Brown shuffle. His vocals sound good too. They sound loud, which is real nice. And he does some cool combos too. Overall, this performance just has a cool vibe to it. I don't know what it is, I just really like it, to be honest. And the breakdown is also really long, and he does some cool robotics there. So honestly, yeah, I'm putting it in B tier. We have Auburn Hills, 1988, probably October 26th maybe? I don't know. It's kind of mystery show of the bad tour because it was mislabeled a long time, I think. This is C tier. I don't think there's anything really notable about this. It just sounds standard to me. So yeah, I'm putting it in C tier. Chicago on October 12th, 1984. We have snippets of this, so like at least this time I can determine something from the snippets because we have, and it actually sounds good and looks good, but still standard victory tour, like probably better than Toronto, to be honest. I don't really know what to say because I would like to hear it, the full performance, or at least see the full performance, obviously. But for now I'm just putting it in C tier because it looks like standard victory tour to me, so. Rotterdam, July 1st, 1992. I almost put this in lesser known, but I rarely ever hear anyone talking about this one, so therefore it's forgotten. And this one is actually good, but I feel like it's really lacking with like the amount of vocals. And he skips out on a lot of vocals in my opinion. Like he just sings the main song, but there's not a lot of ad-libs at all. So it's kind of boring, to be honest. So I'm putting it in C tier. I really want to hear the first show on June 30th. I really want to hear that. Maybe it's similar to Munich, because that would mean there's more ad-libs. But like, yeah, July 1st doesn't have a lot of ad-libs, doesn't have a lot going for it, to be honest. So I'm putting it in C tier. And now we have Los Angeles, September 8th, 1992. And this one is iffy, because there's a guy who's recording it that's singing throughout the entire song, the entire show actually. Every song is just him singing over Michael, so you can barely hear him. So maybe I should actually just rate this guy singing instead.
I am no one.
Yeah, okay. This guy singing is, it's not very pleasant. But it could be worse. I'm putting it in D tier. No. Putting it in E tier, yeah. His singing. Like, the performance itself, what I can hear, sounds similar to Toulouse, because there's an interesting ad-lib similar to that, which sounds really, really good. I think that sounds amazing. And he also does an owl here, which is awesome. I love that shit. I love that. But I cannot hear the rest of his vocals because this fucking guy is just singing over it. Like, bro, shut the fuck up. Like, if you're gonna record Michael, why the fuck would you sing over it? Like, what's the point then? You wanna record it so you can watch it again, so you only can hear yourself sing? Like, I don't record a fucking show I go to hear myself sing. No, I record a show I go to hear the performer sing that I came to see so I can hear it again and again and again. But no, this fucking idiot recorded himself singing. What the fuck? I don't understand. Also, no, sorry for calling me an idiot, but like, come on, man, what the fuck? I'm putting it in C tier. Then we have Singapore, September 1st, 1993, and I actually really like this one. It has more vocals than the first Singapore show, but I feel like the main vocals are then lower in quality, worse than the first show, but there are more vocals here and really loud vocals. Like, there's one of the best hee-hees here, like, ever. Then just listen to this. I think that sounds fucking fantastic. And also, there is a real instrumental fail here, like before the first pre-chorus. Like, there's some issues there, I'll just show you. I don't know what happened there, but it sounds bad, obviously. And also the keys are kind of interesting here. I think it's Isaiah's keys maybe? Because like, during the second verse, like the swells are the backing pop ooze sounds, if that makes sense. Like, they're the backing sounds for the doom, you know that? But that's the sound, but doing the normal swells, the doom, 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 right? But here, it's the doom, you know that one? Why the fuck am I trying to explain it? I'll just show it. Like, I think this is the only performance where that happens. Maybe it happens in like Taipei as well, because we don't know, we haven't heard those performances yet. So I'm really intrigued by that. But overall, this performance is actually quite interesting, and I really like it, especially the instrumentation. It sounds so damn good. I'm putting it in B tier. Then we have East Rutherford, July 29th, 1984. And to me, this is once again just another standard victory performance. I would love to see this. It would probably be higher. But for now, I'm just putting it in C tier. I don't feel like there's anything really notable here. So yeah, C tier. Then we have Tokyo, December 17th, 1996. I feel like this is probably the least interesting Tokyo show from 1996 that we have. It doesn't really have anything interesting going for it. Though there's like one thing, and that's like there's some missing playback vocals for some reason. It's probably just a house mix though, but it sounds interesting because like the do thing tries, like there's missing one of them. Yeah, so that added vocal is missing, which makes that segment seem kind of lackluster, but it's interesting nonetheless. And the vocals here are alright, though again, nothing interesting. But he sounds good for sure, but I feel like it's just standard in terms of like history tour sound. If I saw it, I would probably love it, to be honest, because Tokyo shows so far seem to be really fucking interesting. So yeah, I'm putting it in C tier. Then we have Valladolid on September 6, 1997. The vocals here are quite good. Like this is the same as Austin, and Austin is really visually boring. So I don't see why this one would be different. And the vocals aren't that interesting either. Like they sound good, but like most 1997 shows are good. So we even have like a snippet of the breakdown that's like 2 seconds. And that just seems like standard 1997, so, or August 1997, even though this is September, there's the same style. So I'm putting it in D tier because it's really fucking boring, to be honest. It's maybe the least boring of the boring ones, but it's still really boring. So yeah, D tier. Now we have the 30th anniversary September 6th rehearsal, 2001. I can't really determine anything here because we only have rehearsals before the actual song. Maybe the full song gets leaked sometime. I would fucking hope the rehearsal of this show gets leaked because it's honestly probably better than the actual show. Like I see that being a possibility. But for now I'm putting it in non-applicable. Now we have Nice in France on July 27th, 1997. It was weird for me to say for some reason. This one is pretty nice. It seems pretty standard, though I really want to see the visual performance of this one because this is the show of the Basil, and Basil is really visually appealing. And this one sounds better than Basil, so imagine if it has the same performance visually as, or better than Basil, then this one is better than Basil, because the vocals are way better here. His sound is actually good here compared to Basil, so I am really interested to see this. But for now, I'm gonna have to put it in C tier, because the audio of it doesn't have much going for it. So, other than him sounding good, of course. Now we have an unknown snippet, like that's the 3 seconds or something. And it's either of Billie Jean or Shake Your Body doing the Victory Tour. And I don't know which one it is. And either way, if it's Billie Jean, I can't determine anything here. There's not like you see him and he's about to spin. So there's nothing interesting about it. So I'm gonna have to put it in non-applicable, but I still have to mention it, of course. This is it, June 3rd, 2009. This is just audio and amateur audio actually of Michael rehearsing. Though actually I don't know if Michael's on stage here. I don't know. I don't think he is, because it's just playback. So I'm gonna have to put this non-applicable because I cannot determine anything here, because even if Michael's not on stage, then it doesn't count. So yeah, non-applicable. Glasgow on August 18th, 1992. I don't see anyone ever talking about this one. Like never. I don't know why. The performance is good, it's standard, but like it's kind of high quality and still nobody's talking about it. So what the fuck? Either way, the performance is C tier because it is standard, but maybe I should upload. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna upload this performance soon. I'm gonna do that. And now I have Lyon. It's in France on June 25th, 1997. And the funny thing is, we don't have this fucking performance. We don't have it. We do not have this one. It's a lie. All right. The amateur recording of this one is just a low quality version of the June 27th tape. All right. The Billie Jean performance anyway. The whole show might actually be Lyon. I don't know. But the Billie Jean performance is definitely Paris, June 27th. So, we don't have this fucking show, man. And that actually brings me to the end of this tier. Though, I have some honorable mentions. For example, we have the HBO One Night Only rehearsal where Michael's rehearsing Billie Jean. We have like a picture of it. So again, obviously I can't fucking determine anything, so I'm not putting this on the tier list or anything. But I thought it was interesting to include, because I actually didn't know he was supposed to perform Billie Jean in this show. So thanks to Vin in the Discord server for sending it to me, or sending it in the Discord server. Yeah, I can't determine anything, honestly, but still it's cool to have this. We also have pictures of shows we don't have. Like, we have a Vienna 1992 picture, we have a Mexico 1992 picture, actually we have multiple of it. We also have a Mumbai 1996 picture, and we have a Tokyo December 24th, 1992 picture, and we have Honolulu, Hawaii, whatever the fuck you say, I don't know, okay. We have a picture of this performance, we don't have that either. Yeah, we can't determine anything from these photos, of course, but you know, it's still worth mentioning that we do have something from these performances, even though it's just pictures. So of course I can't put it on a tier list, but still, it's worth mentioning. But yeah, with that said, like, that's the end of the iceberg and tier list. We've gotten to the end. This was really interesting for me to make, because I really like watching iceberg videos myself or watching tier list videos myself. And I haven't really seen anyone do it with like Michael. So I figured, why the fuck not do it myself, right? Though I don't think I'm gonna do iceberg videos anymore, because I don't feel like it kind of benefits the series. I don't feel like it's interesting enough, the whole known to forgotten. I don't think that's interesting enough. At least not with Michael's performances. So from now on, I think I'm just gonna do tier lists instead. I think that'd be better, just overall, for something that's actually worth your time. So yeah, next up is just a tier list. I think it's a Blood and the Dance Floor performance tier list actually I'm making. Yeah, I want to make that. That could also just be one video. I think that's just gonna be one big video. Either way, with that said, we're done here with the series. So thank you so much for watching it, and I really hope you enjoyed it, and I love you. Thank you so much, and yeah, see ya.